Holy moly.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to One Up Weekend Live. One Up Definitive Studios. Welcome to another weekend update with myself. Hey, I'm Toa, guys. If you haven't met me before, as you can tell, we have we have Trey, we have Jamil, and we have a special guest with us, voice actor elite, Mr. Cory J Phillips.
Hi. I'm doing my own
There's an
crowd.
applause sign.
You know what?
We need a crowd. We need a studio audience. No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Comedy Central, hit us up.
Live.
I'll be doing this shit remotely.
Well, we will.
I am not here
Yeah,
to
I'll get
talk
into that
to you
later.
motherfuckers in person.
I'll get into that. But we will talk about that later.
So welcome, Cory. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. That's my standard, like, oh, yeah, thank you.
It's about time.
Yeah.
And we go off script.
We have a script.
And we're already off the rails.
Welcome to One Up.
Well, he had to come after, the bashing of Oklahoma.
Of what?
Oh, you're here to defend Oklahoma.
No, I was in the comments bashing.
Yeah.
I was the one in
he
the
was
comments
helping.
going
Damn,
crazy.
You saw, I was ready, man.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
I'm-
Hey, what state is this week?
Yeah.
What
I don't
state
know.
are we bashing?
Wyoming, I think.
I'm randomize that shit. I was not here last week. And I yelled
No,
about
but-
I yelled about Wyoming literally last week at around 8 o'clock. Like, I just wasn't here. My bad.
Well, he had a double the week before.
It was really awkward at Adji's birthday, at Adji's graduation party. I'm just randomly going off about Wyoming. Everyone was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
Oh, well, shit happens.
Internally, your mind's like,
Possibly it was recorded.
This bit has gone so far.
well, he's doing
Apparently
all.
50 some odd weeks to go.
Yeah, I think there's 50 still.
Well, he did.
We haven't annexed
He
Venezuela
did. He
yet.
did 2 the week before because it was just like, we got. What did we get? We got. You did Rhode Island and
Don't look at me.
Well, I
was
started off with
week one.
Oklahoma. and
Oklahoma.
Then
Yeah.
it was Rhode Island, and I think I threw one else in there last week.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a 2 for last week?
it was a
Yeah, I
2
should've been here.
the week
Yeah,
before.
I should've.
It was a 2 for.
I kind of
Last week we didn't have it. We did talk about it, but we also had connection issues last week. It was insane. 30 minutes into the show,
Yeah, I saw
it just went off.
the
The
blip saying, hey, we're back. I'm
entire-
like, what?
The entire area, like all if you put on your Wi-Fi, you can see all the Wi-Fi's around you. Nothing.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Really?
Nobody.
Nothing.
You can? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it just gone.
Right on.
It was like, okay, well,
I should learn more about those radio things.
The radio technologies.
like I said, anyways, we have Cory Phillips joining us here. He's a voice actor. He's an actor. He's in IMDb. Go check him out. He actually has an IMDb.
That's where I live. I'm in IMDb.
His apartment.
Well, the rent's cheap, but people
Yeah.
keep editing you.
Yeah, oh my gosh. People keep just adding different things that don't belong here. It's like, I wasn't a part of this. Like,
Do you actually have that? Do you get people to add random things to you?
no, sometimes they'll add me by the wrong name. Like, I had to actually get my agent to like combine a bunch of different Cory Phillips together, and it's like I had like 5 different apartments at once, but only like one thing in each. So it was bad.
That's living, man.
But no, it's yeah. I mean, I think people can just add your name even if it's misspelled and add stuff to it. As long and most of the time directors aren't even like thinking about it. It's like, yeah, sure, he was in it. Which I think you could like I think you could extort that to an extent. Like I should just start adding my name to different projects I wasn't a part of. Like Cory was in The Big Lebowski. Wasn't he like a child at that time?
Why not? Well, yeah, you were infant number 3.
That was the bowling ball.
Like I said.
Okay, I can see that. Sorry,
Shit,
that
I
actually.
forgot your juice.
Oh
She
shit.
did. I forgot mine.
Okay, I
USB-C
got enough to
cable.
last me. Hopefully.
I feel left out.
That's right. Vape that phone.
Android or Apple?
Android.
Apple tastes better.
Yeah, but it costs so much, and they fucking like systematically shut it down the next year.
And then they spy on you.
Yeah, and then
Well, that's yeah.
and then they
we
made
can get
everybody
into
else
that,
can
too.
spy on you.
That was so.
See, they're
screwed up.
sharing. They're sharing.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, we're spying them on them already. We should make it to where their friends can spy on them too.
I can see that
Seriously,
now.
it
Some
really
kid
wasn't
going.
that.
So if you guys haven't read this, Apple has, if you have an Apple device, you have FaceTime, ability to just video screen talk with each other. And now they've made an enhancement where you can FaceTime with multiple people. Well,
Group
there's a
chat.
glitch that
It's not a
occurred.
glitch.
Okay. The
It's a
report.
feature.
We're going to turn it over to the tech head Trey here in a second to explain it better. But the glitch or the feature that
It was a
they've had.
bug. It was definitely a bug, but it's
Yeah.
not a glitch. It's not something that just kind of happened.
Well, the
Yeah.
bug.
It's not like
okay.
lightning struck.
Well,
Apple
let me explain it,
HQ,
and then I'll let you just go completely off on this one. So the bug that occurred in it is that even though you do not answer, it still turns on the camera and the microphone. And so it was a 14-year-old kid who evidently brought this to the attention of Apple because he was being interviewed for it.
Well, he brought it actually way before.
One of them.
Yeah, he brought it way before the story broke. It was like
Well, no, yeah.
It was like a few weeks before the story ever broke. But him and his mom
Right, his mom's a lawyer.
Yeah, wrote into Apple and was like, this is an issue.
Yeah.
But you do have to do kind of something specific. You do have to add yourself to the call. Like as soon as you're calling somebody, you have to add yourself to the call. So it's kind of a weird way you have to do it, but still you end up being able to listen.
Sort of, yeah.
How many relationships has that ended?
Well, you know, as people found out, yeah.
I want the
Okay,
metrics
so
on
you
that.
didn't have to add yourself.
Oh, is that not? You didn't have to add yourself?
You could add anybody
Oh, okay.
on your contact list, and it would connect them to the person you called.
So that's a whole
it
lot
was-
of like shiesty backdoor, like I'm gonna fuck up your relationship just like this.
Well, yeah, that would have been a great. Yeah,
It's like the old
right?
three-way trick that girls
Right.
used to play.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
never worked. The only three-way I wanted was not like that.
I was gonna say, wait, which three-way trick are we talking about?
Three-way phone trick.
Oh,
The three-way trick in an actual
Yeah, I don't know
person
that
was really awesome.
yeah, it wasn't a trick. Well,
Yeah, I
Well,
could have
one,
been.
one of them was.
Could have been. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so you have a stack in software, and the things on top get done first, and goes down the line. Okay. Well, in this case, it looks like what they did with the group chat is if you were initiating the chat or the FaceTime call, and you called your friend. I called you. I don't know who the fuck you are, but I'm calling you because here I got your number. Pop, boom. Okay. At that point, the server that's doing the connection brokering says, okay, I have user 1 and user 2. User 2, we're waiting on you to pick up. When you add another user to the call who is already on a call, it appears that the server goes, oh, hey, that user is already on the line. Sets a flag to 1 and connects them. The problem is that if you're that user or somebody else who's active they're already set to 1, so it falls down the stack to the next user, which is the person you called, and sets them as active. Right. It's a stupid bug.
That's fucking
It should have been
hilarious.
caught in some parsing. There should have been some sort of exception handling, but no. Fuck it. We're Apple. Move hard. What is it? Move fast, break things. Fucking agile development strikes again.
And you're seeing a lot of that happen across the board, like the thing with Bethesda, because I'm
Agile development
For those
strikes
of you
again. I
that
hate
don't know,
Fucking hate
I
it.
am an avid Fallout fanboy, huge Fallout fanboy.
You and half the planet.
I mean, I like Pete Wentz, but what the fuck?
I know, right? Such a pretty boy. No, but no, and that's kind of what you're seeing on the Bethesda end. I mean, other than the rumors that they basically released a giant game form
No.
beta.
Which
So-
one?
So basically,
gonna say.
so there's this rumor
a
going around the
Bethesda thing.
yeah. So there's a rumor going around on the internet that basically Fallout 76 is just a testing ground to try to figure out something they're going to do with the next Elder Scrolls. So instead of
So they had
Well,
everybody
yeah,
like
you learn
fun.
from previous. I mean,
Right.
that's how iteration works.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really that.
But it's
that's
one of those things that, like,
strange.
but estranging an entire fan base just to make another one of your like flagships better seems like a weird.
no,
choice to me.
it's definitely it would be a profit. I mean, the point is to make money for most corporations. There's some exceptions, but that it's not Bethesda's idea is to, hey, let's let a bunch of people pay to beta test. No, they thought it was good enough to release, and that's generally how it works. Is somebody managing that thing goes, you know what, fuck it, it's good enough, ship. And sometimes that decision is ill-advised, but they still do it. And there's pressures, often monetary pressures that or we're going to miss, if we miss the ship date, then we're going to have problems with other companies that are coming out with games, and we're going to end up with a lot of competition. We're going to lose market share, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Well, whatever. So yeah, if it's good enough, if I could ship it, we'll patch. And you'll notice for the last 4 or 5 years, pretty much every single game that comes out has a patch, has a release day patch.
Yeah. But the problem is like a release date
Because
patch that's as big as the game is
still well
Or bigger.
fucking
Yeah.
textures, man.
Red
textures.
Red Dead had a 20 gig their initial patch, and then they changed it again. Had a 20 gig.
Yeah, but like,
Patch.
And that's on
did you
top
know how
of
big
the
the first
install.
patch was for
Yeah, but
Fallout
what's 20
76?
gigs nowadays?
Was it almost 100 gigs?
It was 34. Which
No, well, okay. No, look, I didn't play the new Fallout. 'Cause
I
did.
I had Fallout
My
4,
inner Doom players
and
screaming.
it just did not capture the gameplay I really wanted. It just didn't feel.
of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I
when
can
76
agree.
came out, I was like, you know what? No,
Pass.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
save my
that's
money.
That's kind of. I was like,
Yeah, I'll go play Red Dead. That's prettier.
See, I'm gonna play
Well,
every
play work.
installation. That's why I say it's like I'm a fanboy, because I'll play it even if I know
Show
it's
'em your
hot
watch.
garbage. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I have this this lovely
Sure,
Pip-Boy smartwatch.
Yep.
Which was not a great investment.
what are you talking about? Do you enjoy it?
I love it. Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Does it tell
Does
them?
That would be the
I guess
problem.
telltale.
Okay, well, then,
Does it work?
anything else, then fuck it. If you enjoy it, do it.
Yeah.
Does it work like Bethesda?
Oh, ouch,
Yeah.
ouch. Did you
Yeah.
download a patch bigger
Did
than the
you-
watch?
exactly what I was
Well,
going
let's
to say.
put it this way. It'll, like, if I put it on its charger overnight, it'll charge till it's fully charged and then stop charging and run the battery down. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, on the dock, it will run the battery down.
So you have to wake up
Wow.
to...
Okay, so
So
you
basically,
did
if
get
I
a
wa-
watch that shipped broken.
If I want it to work, I basically have to wake up, put it on its charger, leave it there for like an hour and a half, and then pull it off its charger, because it doesn't, like, I don't know how this thing works. That's the only way I can use it. It's like I have to watch it charge.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it sounds like a safety feature, so it doesn't
Not
overcharge.
a
But then it does
safety
it.
feature. Fucking moronic. bullshit. Sorry, what?
Feature.
Also, like half the features on the
Not a
watch,
bug. It's a feature.
all the features,
Bullshit.
like half the features on the watch don't work. Like,
Yeah,
you'll-
okay, so you really did buy a Fallout watch. I'm astounded at the parallels.
And
That's
you didn't
nuts.
return it. Why?
because I love
'Cause
it.
it's a
'Cause-
Pip-Boy.
and,
It's a Fallout watch.
and there's
'Cause
no
it's a
other,
Pip-Boy.
like, there's no equivalent of it. There's
he
not.
said he was a Bethesda fan. All right,
I
he's
get
used
it.
to this shit.
I get it.
That means he's used to shit coming out broken as fuck and hopefully getting fixed later.
Hey,
It's
you-
glitched into
you
my
drive a
wrist
Ford,
like
right?
twice now. It's like glitched into my wrist. I had to like reset to a save, and then I lost a job.
Wow. So you drive a Ford, right?
No, I drive a Scion.
The pause that occurred
Okay.
on that side of the table.
Okie doke.
Hey,
That, you know,
if it makes you
Toyota,
happy,
Toyota's
if it makes you
reliable.
happy,
It is.
man.
It is.
It
And,
is.
you know, the only problem I've ever seen with Scion is, you know,
That's a
the
song.
car.
Yeah.
But other than that,
It's a small problem.
It's one of those things that like it was a
very-
gift. It was a charming attempt at Toyota's marketing towards 20-something.
no, it was a direct competition with Kia and the Focus. And
Yeah.
they wanted to try to come out with a cheap brand without devaluing their main brand and appeal to the 20-somethings.
How'd that work out?
It did
Well, I
not
don't
work.
know. They did. They sold like hotcakes for a couple of years.
Well, then they failed miserably, and they had to close down Scion. They stopped doing Scion altogether.
Yes, I know. I was a Saturn fan. I actually understand the pain. Mm-hmm. So, you know, GM, same problem.
Oh, Saturn.
Yeah, fuck GM.
We did go off the rails. we bounced so
No,
many topics.
these are the rails here.
No, these are the rails.
These
we
are
are.
the
this is
it's-
normal.
We're still on. We're still
we
on
might as
target.
well open a theme park because this is the roller coaster of a show.
I
When
am
you think
not,
there's a
you
s-
must be this. So I get to wear the shirt that says you must be at least this tall to ride this ride.
Yeah, sure.
I finally get that shirt. All right.
Yeah, yeah. When you think it's a straightaway, suddenly dips into a loop, and yeah.
awesome. I'm on
Just
board. I'm here for
Don't
the ride.
hurl on the equipment. Is all I ask.
I'm trying not to.
And poor Ashley, who ends up watching, she has to get neck braces because we
You
whiplash
say
so much.
poor. Yeah.
Poor Ashley. Poor Vicky.
Poor everybody. Hey, is Jabo here yet?
Yeah. No, no, I don't see him.
Well, he said he might be here. I told him he was my
Where-
favorite. My
where's-
favorite Scottish viewer named James. And
That's
he
super
said
specific.
He said he appreciated that.
Joshua goes, "There's some dedication to Bethesda right there."
I am I am just, a pamphlet short of being like a Bethesda evangelist, where I just keep overlooking my church's
You know that
faults.
role. They actually pay those guys. So you're a pamphlet and a paycheck.
Like, if you are getting a paycheck from them, that's cool. If you're not, please.
I'm a zealot. I'm just a zealot.
Just wait till they introduce you to VI versus Emacs.
Damn.
I am, however, super excited about Obsidian's new title thing they're doing.
Which is?
The Outer Worlds.
Sorry, Vicky, leave me out of this.
Have you guys seen anything about that?
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I was so like I loved the low grade shade throwing.
Low grade my ass.
It was. I mean,
That's the most amount of shade you can throw as a fucking developing company.
Yeah.
Without getting sued.
Yeah.
It wasn't presidential, but
I loved it. I am definitely gonna buy and play that game.
What's that? You say you won't let us make this game. Well, guess what?
you don't
We
get a
out,
choice.
bitch.
We made something better.
Mo better.
Many much better.
So how are they going back to the Apple thing now?
Yeah.
Whiplash here. How, they're talking about like 2 or 3 weeks to repair this. What exactly? And I'm just asking because I actually don't know.
Yeah.
anything
Well,
about
in the
this.
meantime, they shut down the server that does the
FaceTime.
FaceTime brokering for groups.
Did
So
they? Because
they killed the feature because it's broken and
That's pretty smart.
they
they
really
got to fix it in software.
They really should
Okay,
put
so
that
the way
somewhere on the
software
news
stacks work,
because
they're gonna have to actually some poor bastard has to sit down and rewrite this entire subclass, this entire function of the app. So I mean, sucks to be you, dude. I feel your pain, but sucks to be you.
I feel bad for you.
I mean, there should have
Thank you,
probably
Morgan
been a
Freeman.
little more QA involved, but that's not my problem.
not yet. Not yet.
Not my job.
Do it right the first time. You won't have to do it again.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Well, Apple should just hire you.
No. I've worked for Apple.
You won't work for the ghost of Steve Jobs.
I've worked for Apple. I'm not going back.
I didn't know you worked for Apple.
Yep.
He's like, the next head in a jar I'm going to work for is Walt Disney.
No.
He considered it, though.
He
thought
pondered
about
that
it.
one. He did.
pondered
He
it.
actually pondered
I
it.
did briefly. Very briefly. No, it'll be me. I'll work for myself.
You're going to be the jar in the
I
head?
will be the jar.
Or the head in the jar?
No, I'll be the
jar
jar.
in the head.
I'm not going to be the head. I'll be the jar. Yeah,
They said I
it'll
could be
me.
anything, so I became a jar.
Of all things,
Why not?
why not become a head in a jar?
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with that?
I feel like we're fixing to start watching an episode of Futurama here with all the presidents and the
Head in the jars.
yeah.
Well, it's
To be fair, heads and
Futurama
jars
draws on
have
us.
happened more.
So, yeah.
And more than just Futurama. I mean, I can pull up some horror movies for you. You can totally be in wrong.
Okay, yeah. Outside of the horror genre, though, yeah, it's still a
Fine.
thing. Shrunken Heads.
I'm
Come on, Shrunken Heads.
I'm trying
they're
to
all
Fine.
over.
yeah, but I'm
Futurama
trying to think of
horrible?
like a comedy where they had other than like a cartoon that
Gilligan's
had
Island.
What?
head in a
Gilligan's
jar.
Island.
They
What
did
in a
Head
jar
in
is
the
a
Jar
shrunken
and
head.
Gilligan's
The
Island.
Shrunken Head. I did
Shrunken
that.
Heads,
Like
yeah.
head in a jar comedy.
Okay, but aside from Gilligan,
Speaking of Gilligan's Island, I feel like that
feels random right now.
it is random.
Well, this
but
is a
I just really want to get this off the
3-hour
chest. I made a Gilligan's Island reference to a room full of like 40-somethings at a show a couple weeks back, and nobody got it. And I was like,
You should
"There's
shoot-
Are you
there's
dogging on 40-somethings?
a little bit, yeah." Because I'm 30 and I know about Gilligan's Island.
Wow.
To be fair,
And if
Yeah.
there's 50 of you in the room, at least 5 people should have got the Gilligan's Island
I
reference.
mean, if they were American born or lived here for like 10 or 15 years, they should have.
it's McKinney,
You
Texas.
should have fucking. All that, dude, that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of money in McKinney that didn't originate here.
true story.
It just surprised me. It's like, how do I know a Gilligan's Island reference and you guys don't?
Because you watched one episode.
Ow.
They're all pretty much the same.
Ooh, that is true.
Wow. I mean, it's.
It is. It's for. It is.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not arguing.
I
with
was
you.
waiting
I'm
for
just-
someone to tell me I
no,
was wrong.
No, I didn't. I just said it's low.
I just go into it. It's like, no, it's an allegory.
All right, what? So I was about to say something about, just like Scooby-Doo, and then I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck is going on with the Shaggy thing?
Oh, isn't it awesome?
I saw the video, and I'm like, okay, I need on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, I got to know what video, because I got to have it. I got to know that episode. Mm-hmm. And then
It was one of
Echo. And then I was, I'm seeing it everywhere. Shaggy's everything, and I've seen it. I've seen the reference everything from tech to sports to stupid, music, modern music memes and stuff, all the way to an occult page with a branch of the occult that has like fucking 1,500 members worldwide, and there's a fucking Shaggy meme. I'm like, what the?
It's like
how?
Because it's like the perfect blend of internet. Like it's nostalgic.
Oh, no. There's nowhere near enough porn for it to be perfect.
Oh, there
But-
is.
I not a Shaggy, and I don't want to see it if there is.
There is.
Just
That
not a
exists.
Shaggy.
That is existed.
Velma, great. Daphne, okay. Shaggy, we're good, dude.
we have a TVMA
Fred,
logo
all right,
now?
Fred, and
Do what?
obviously Scooby is off
TVMA
limits. He's
right?
under.
Yeah, I'm just gonna flash the TVMA. The following program is rated TVMA for mature
Well, I
audiences
mean, we
only.
haven't actually said
But yeah, no, it's
anything other than fuck all the time.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy is probably my favorite iteration of it.
It's crazy. The whole thing's crazy.
Like,
So
it was
they'll-
annoying when it
Absolutely.
started because I had no clue where it came from. Then I
Right.
found out where it came from, and I stopped and went, "Yeah, that's still fucking annoying." Like,
Really?
Is
yeah.
it okay? Can I ask you? Can I pose something to you guys?
Sure.
Is it more or less annoying than Ugandan Knuckles?
See, I don't even get that one. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Because I know the history of
I'd
I
rather,
Ugandan
practically
Knuckles.
live on
I'd rather
the
watch the
fucking
Shaggy
internet.
one than any more Uganda Knuckles.
Because I think the Uganda Knuckles one is infinitely fascinating because of its origins. Like, I can give you a brief one if you want it.
Ugandan Knuckles.
It's a blend of like 3 separate things that somehow got put together. So it has to do with Ugandan Tarantino. This
sorry,
director.
what?
So there's this director in Uganda who makes these incredibly, like, they're not even B films. They're like C films. They're so bad. It's like one of his like most famous ones is called Who Killed the Captain Alex, and they're like ridiculous. Like, pull up the trailer. It's a great representation of just who killed the Captain Alex. It is a great representation of just how bonkers the whole thing is. And it's done in like Windows Paint, like with like, as far as like the effects, like it's like Birdemic level of effects. And there's just so many quotes from that. And one of them is, why are you running? Why are you running? And it's just, everything is overblown. It's just insane. And so it's that. And then there's like this YouTuber who was reviewing a Sonic game, and like for 5 seconds there was like this. He's making fun of Knuckles, and this image of Knuckles pops up.
This is that meme that I keep seeing.
That would be the Ugandan Knuckles.
Yeah.
one.
And so
Now I remember it.
somehow
I was trying to remember what it was the whole time.
I have managed to avoid this, I think, so
It's
far.
not recent. It's
no.
it's super old. It's last year. It's
Yeah.
2018. It's
Super
dead.
old.
Last year.
In meme.
I got
meme
super old for you, all right? More dots.
all your base are belong to us.
There you go.
What was it? It wasn't
That's
why you're running.
still
It's
fairly relevant though.
More dots.
What was the meme that he did? God, they're not
Yeah, because all memes resurrect. They're like phoenixes.
No, I was
They
trying to
just-
remember because there was a whole YouTube
All
video.
means resurrect. He's not wrong.
They're like Jesus.
Yep.
Like, where do you want to
No,
go?
they're
Like
real.
everyone.
What
They
was- what was
exist.
the actual meme call out?
What are you
Somebody
talking about?
actually
Big
created
Chungus?
No, the Uganda.
I'm just going to go to Know Your Meme.
Not why are you
KnowYourMeme.com can give you updates. if you're not sure.
Are you the queen? Do
No.
you know the way?
Do you know
you
the
know
way?
the
Yeah. Well, those are all quotes from who killed the Captain
it's,
Alex.
It's the Do You Know the Way, the one that I keep hearing the most.
All right, I've
so.
seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that reference.
Yeah, those are all from
'Cause
the
they-
same movie.
They were all in the. My son played Roblox, and there was a. It's like showing my wife. Like, I don't know if we should let him play, and they're like, "Why?" And I showed him, and there was like 1,000 of these little heads. Do you know the way?
Do you know the
just
way?
everywhere, blowing it up, and
Yeah.
you couldn't talk, and they were just playing. It's like
Yeah.
my son gets caught, and he's gonna start walking around and going, "Do you know the way?" Who did the click clock clock? Okay.
Hold on, we have a comment that's not in chat. It's from Nikki, and Nikki says the meme is not. It's not that deep. That was for you. It's not
I mean,
that deep.
people draw their own.
Well, it's like
value
it's not that
in-
it's that
in
deep. That's just how it was born.
philosophy.
Like that, it's all these things that kind of came together and somehow got mixed. together.
It's called Photoshop. That's how they got it.
Yeah, it's not like it's deep. There's no deep meaning to it. It's just more like everything on the internet, and it's like an amalgamation of things that just like
That's true.
mix together.
Yeah.
Like
What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure. So the chat's having issues.
Why?
Nikki
What?
followed that up with because he sounds like a professor from the University of Transcendent Austinite bullshit. I was going to type
If you're
this,
going to
but I just
call our
fucking
guest,
love you,
do it.
Nikki.
Do it on the. Oh,
I'm
the
glad
broken
you-
chat.
Why the
broken
fuck do
chat.
we not
That's
hear
why.
have her on show?
That's why.
God, she needed to say that on live. That was awesome.
I'm glad you found out what my degree was.
She wants to know, are you going to sell us kombucha next?
Chad.
Fuck, that's beautiful.
Actually,
Holding on line
I
one.
don't like kombucha. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Thank God.
All right, Nikki, I think you have an open invitation to the show.
Yeah,
and possibly a
Horrible,
chair.
horrible stuff.
yeah. That's good.
You know,
With
the
the
leather
reaction
jacket, I'm really
like the
selling
reaction
that.
like that, you gotta.
God damn.
oh, I am like the meme Dr. Malcolm. There's, that just all these memes they come together, and the internet will find a way.
I will shoot him.
He looks so serious, dude.
Go, please.
Don't you dare! I like how he's looking at me like, should I actually be worried?
She says no. He was hot.
Oh, there goes the remnants of my self-confidence.
Damn.
Yeah, we don't normally start destroying people until 30 or 40 minutes into the show. So, well, actually,
It's 30 minutes into the show.
show.
there you go. Right on
season.
time.
And usually it's me.
It is usually him.
You like the break?
Do what?
Do you like the break?
Yeah. Do you want to break? Or
No,
should,
no,
we,
no,
should
no.
we lay off the guest?
no.
You're
No.
right there. I
Take-
mean,
I will take it all.
oh, I know you.
Yeah,
will.
shut up.
Trace wants you to know she's pre-gaming. She hasn't even warmed up yet.
Oh, baby.
There's several stages to both lovemaking and fucking, and I think you're well on the road to fucking at this point.
That was the most convoluted
I
non-response.
was like, what?
She's delivering a fucking.
I get that.
Okay, all right.
I get that. It's just,
That hand motion is not fucking, sir.
Well, it
I knew what he was trying to say.
depends.
Just
She's like, it's true. You don't have the seductive lean going. Okay, can I perfect this? Like,
Wow. Please don't Goldblum in my presence.
I'd have to have my shirt off.
please don't. Wait, what is she saying now?
I don't know.
Let's say,
She said, "Lube up, big boy."
I have a degree in equine fucking.
So, welcome to the show.
This is what I signed on for.
Yep, you signed up. If you're a guest, welcome to the show. If you're not a guest, welcome.
That should be like a segment. It's where you just destroy the guest that you bring on.
No, I mean roasting is kind of a natural progression. It evolves.
it evolves.
You can't force roasting.
It's like a fine wine.
The roasting finds a way.
The Friars Club has totally screwed that. Yeah, so
The roast will
we'll find a way. Yes.
He's gonna turn into a meat puppet.
Thank you,
Hey,
Bat.
Oh, hey, Bat.
The chat's working.
The chat is working.
So,
I'm just gonna start reading all the comments as
Yeah, sometimes we do that, but then we get dead air and we make fun of Toa.
well,
for
some
it.
of them haven't popped up. Like Ashley said, lose a shirt, and in all caps, she wants you to take your shirt off.
Take it off, baby. We don't tip here.
Joshua said up to the elbow for Trey. John said ... for you. That was wild.
John likes it. Which John? It doesn't matter. They both like it. See, it's not just.
Well,
the
so
guests.
far you have-
We also dog on our viewers.
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause
We do.
I don't
We
see
do.
Nikki's
We do.
chat, but Ashley's saying lose a shirt.
Oh, no, I'm literally
that
talking
already.
directly to Nikki. So
Oh,
apparently she couldn't get her Facebook to work, so she's watching it on YouTube. I think. I don't know.
our chat should be working on YouTube. I saw Vicky's post, so it should be working now. That's what I was trying to fix over here the whole time. Trying.
Don't ask me. I didn't fix it. I didn't break it, but I didn't.
You didn't bring it? No. Restream broke it.
But that hey, so that Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, in the course of the week, for those who are watching, my family's watching here, because my family likes to tune in randomly.
Which is why your mom jokes have become dangerous territory for me that I still gladly traipse across. But
he does.
It is a minefield.
But my mom's got a sense of humor. It's okay. My aunt and my uncle all watch.
Your mom. Oh, damn.
Damn.
That didn't work. Your mom's got a sense of humor. Shit. Carry on.
I'm gonna be quiet.
No.
Your mom.
So for my family who's watching, I know you guys are probably for those that know me. My grandfather's in a hospital. He had a silent heart attack today. So for those of you guys, that's why Gene isn't here. He's supposed to be on his way, but I don't know if you make it. So all my love sent out to you guys. Best of luck. I hope he's going to be okay. As soon as this is over tonight, either I will go down tomorrow, and hopefully he'll still be here.
Best of luck to you.
Oh, no. What?
Did you say Leno?
No, just
I'm
out of nowhere, the
organizing my
Vicky pop of I'm organizing my bodies.
That's all right. You know, it's good to be.
She's an Uber driver, so it kind of it made me a little worried.
I'm organizing my bodies.
That was a lot creepier.
That's just the vibe.
It's a skill set he has. That is Morgan Freeman that he does. He did a PSA for one of the conventions, and he would draw out different things like drinking alcohol is fun, over drinking, and then it shows him like passed out. I said, "Did you hand draw all that, didn't you?"
Yeah, I forced that voice into a lot of places it doesn't belong. like anytime. Yeah.
There we go. Now we're broaching the MA rating over there on the side of the table.
Not what I meant.
Do explain.
Phrasing.
What I meant was like it's one of those things like I've spent an exorbitant amount of time developing, and so I just will use it even if it doesn't apply. Like I'll like sometimes
He just went creepy.
Oh, let's hear it.
No.
I'll just read this last comment. I'm not a psycho. Plays with dolls. Hashtag.
No, it's not I'm not a psycho. I play with dolls.
Oh, I missed the I. I'm not a psycho.
A psychol.
And that's when all the viewers knew that Cory is illiterate. Hashtag Oklahoma education.
All right, there we go.
Thanks, Mary.
Well, I imagine you do know a lot about equine fornication. Then.
Interspecies erotica.
We like to call it horsing around.
Nice. Nice. That was good. That was good. Did you bring your saddle?
I was gonna make a bareback joke, but I was like,
Dude, I set
you guys
it
are
up.
sucking me in. That's
I ain't sucking over here, not yet, buddy.
She just screamed out,
You'll know.
"Furry!" I knew it.
You'll know. I'm no furry. I
She's
shave.
talking about him.
Talking about you.
She's roasting him,
Oh
apparently.
yeah, well maybe he is.
Directly to Jamil, but she's roasting.
I relay the funny, and that was funny.
That was good.
She also says, "Speedy recovery to your grandpa."
Thank you.
one nice thing, and then she goes back to roasting me.
Yes.
It's
She
like
literally
over a
paused, said, "Speedy
You
recovery to
really
your
have
grandpa,"
not been
and
around,
then
have you?
pulled out the gun and started unloading on you again. What was her reload time?
Click, click, click.
Welcome to
And
our
best
show.
wishes.
When
She called me the holy mouthpiece. I'm apparently
Oh, you're a holy
Metatron.
something.
Really? Would you say a scripture, Nikki? Really?
Wow. Who, him?
no, he's a holy mouthpiece.
Yeah.
There's always the shortest one. Jesus wept. You're done. There, you've said a scripture. Well, say it, and you've said a scripture. I've said a scripture. Now your turn.
I'm good.
That's not in scripture, man.
Bullshit.
That's not in scripture.
Bad. I see someone is a fan of pony play.
My little.
See what you opened up.
I know.
Look what you did.
I
didn't do that. Y'all didn't see that.
Somebody. I need
Started
this
singing My
like
Little Pony?
meme where it's like,
I most
hello,
certainly did hear you do
darkness,
that.
man. Like just,
It's a jingles thing. It's just stuck in your head, and it's.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite part of Demolition Man was the whole subplot with the jingles being top 40 music. Classics. It's great. It's fantastic.
Really? Because my favorite part of the entire movie was Leslie Snipes not giving a fuck.
Well, okay, Hamburguesa de Rattan is probably also one of my favorite parts. But
And the fast food wars.
no, right, but yeah, the jingles being top 40 hits from the classic radio station, that was fantastic. Loved it. Anyways, carry on.
Thank you. That was our Demolition Man tangent.
Oh. Okay.
There's a movie. There's something that just somebody's coming out with the 25th anniversary DVD, and I can't remember what movie.
The fuck she just wrote?
Let's hear it.
She just wants people on their knees.
Fine. What she said was, "Our mother of roasted bitches, kneel here for your daily morsel. Stay humble. Trust no hoe with ugly shoes."
Ugly shoes are.
Trust no hoe with ugly shoes.
I mean, she's not wrong.
These are
The bitch
bloody
can't buy
shoes.
shoes. Strange like, yo. Bitch, you got bad shoe game. Get out of here.
Go down.
Are those flats with? Oh, hell no, bitch.
What are those?
Wow.
I never really thought about that. That's
No,
solid.
no,
That's solid advice.
I had somebody tell me once, I judge people by their shoes. The first thing I do, I look at their shoes, and I'm like, well, I've got these engineer boots that are tore up and scuffed and a couple of cuts and a snake bite and I said, how would you judge me? She was like, you obviously get into things that I wouldn't. And I'm like, okay. That can still carry. There's a lot of ways you could define that.
So they're gonna see a random flip of Corey's image here in a second.
Why?
I couldn't figure out. I was sitting here looking at this. It's like, why does it keep showing him looking the opposite direction?
Because he's
No, the camera auto mirrored him. It auto mirrored the
Auto-mirrored
image.
him?
So when he looked at me or look towards this way, it would look he was basically looking at the edge of the TV the whole time. So I was like, why?
Oh, so you flipped him?
So it auto mirrored him.
Clearly, there was something interesting right off the screen.
Yep. Right off the screen
Alrighty.
is something super.
There's
random.
always something interesting where you can't see it, viewer.
See, now he's looking. He does-
All right.
So tell us, since you are our guest here, tell us how you got involved in the acting and the voice acting stuff. Let's hear that.
He opened his mouth.
Oh wait, hold on, time out. We have
the signal.
we have a message.
That's our text message.
That's our
tone.
new text message.
That's our text tone.
He looks like a character from Phineas and Ferb.
That's just rude.
Yeah, I do have a triangular nose.
I appreciate that you don't even deny it.
No,
I'm sure he's heard it before.
yeah.
He does improv, so
I look like a.
So he changes his skin to look like the character? What the fuck?
I think my favorite one
Improv
is.
had to do
he
with
takes
this.
he takes all.
I think my favorite one I've ever gotten is I look like a unsteroided, less strokey Sylvester Stallone. I think that's my favorite one. That was a real
So-
The person who said
Frank?
that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, sorry.
So I've gotten that one. That was fun. I was like, thank you.
Maybe.
The voice cracking and everything.
Or less hot Brendan Urie. Gotten that one too.
Hang on, we have a message from.
Nikki's response is, bitch, where?
Obviously, chat's working again. She could jump back into the pool and
What happened?
We've filtered most of the poo out. Don't worry about it. The turds are mostly
She
gone.
yelled out, "Bitch, where?"
Bitch, where?
your look.
I'm assuming that was for your Sylvester Stallone.
It's mainly the droopy eyes and the.
He's a very self-aware guest today.
Let's not beat him up. Target me, goddammit. Shit.
No, he's more fun.
No.
Oh,
Your grandpa's
double
sick. We're
whammy.
not taking shots at you.
No, take
That's a
shots.
pass, bitch.
No, take shots.
Enjoy your pass.
I don't.
He's
drink on
conditioned
the air.
now. He's like, no, what about me?
No, he has a condition. Yes.
Okay, back to you now.
Nikki says you're too easy, Toa.
That's right.
He is. I can attest. As the token slut on the crew, I can definitely say you're too easy. Are you going to deny?
No.
I'm waiting. All right.
He's trying. He's like,
I have no argument. I'm just like, nope.
Oh, he's always trying.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
My Little Pony, Apocalypse Pony. What the?
I want to know what that new
You gotta
message
sing
is.
it. My Little Pony, Apocalypse Pony.
I can't sing.
Come
Yeah,
to
neither can I.
take you for your sins.
No, he takes it better than you, Toa. Yeah.
Well done, John.
There we go. All right.
Very nice.
One of the Johns has appeared.
I agree with Nikki. God damn.
So do I.
So as
so
much
do I, Vicky.
as,
So do I.
it's okay. I'm still getting hit here.
Yeah, but these are like that's like splash damage.
Yeah, I was about
He's
to say
taking the
it's-
full shot.
It's like AOE.
You're just, you're just nearby. Like you're getting blood splatter and a little bit of shrapnel. You took the full bore shot.
and I'm gonna be like, I need healing.
More dots!
In every game, healers fail.
I am the Genji of this situation right now.
You're the Genji? Is that
I'm the
what you-
Genji just getting owned. I got 200 health. Oh, look at that easy target running straight for me. God, you're going to look so good as ground beef.
Nikki wants you to know that you're a peach. I've now told Nikki just go chat in YouTube, it'll show up.
Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, for a couple of weeks.
That's when the
Then it
tears
gets-
start.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when the tears start
And the
setting in.
scars start showing.
If you don't, at that point, if you haven't killed somebody to move up in the ranks, then you wash out pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's Prey Mantis rules. You
R.I.P.
gotta
Code.
behead somebody.
R.I.P. Ghost.
We use
What
the
was that past
management principles of
RIP
Lord of the
past
Flies.
hosts?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the first episode that Gene was here, he talked about jizzing all over him, and his dad was watching. I didn't realize it until later. His dad's watching. Why did that man say he was going to jizz on you?
Because it's funny. And sometimes you got to release a little pressure. And,
Comedy.
Seem pretty serious.
No,
want to
I have
be
no problem
alive.
being targeted. That's half the fun of this episode of these shows is just being
This episode.
this episode.
That's half the fun of this episode.
Episode.
He's the other half of the fun. There you go.
I'm just waiting for it now.
I'm waiting. Yeah. He's prepped and ready. It's not fun anymore.
I know.
See?
No, so sorry.
And
let's
dead air.
Get an update.
Yeah.
Well, that seems important.
We'll take this moment to talk to you about our sponsors.
We don't have any yet.
But you could
We could.
Okay,
Give us money.
sponsor us.
who do you got? Who do you got? Let's get that actor money in here.
Yeah.
You can pay us so that we don't talk shit about you. That's awesome. That is the
Don't want to be roasted?
All right, we won't try to talk shit about you. We'll just
we won't won't actually focus on you.
yeah, we're not
If you
making
get
any
hit-
promises here.
Our
Shit.
heckles will get more specific.
Targeted heckles.
Targeted.
I mean, we're not going to avoid you.
Yeah.
You're still on the list.
But we won't call headshots.
Yeah. It's just a lot of body.
the hell
lot of-
we won't. We
And
just
it
won't
will-
take the headshot.
Oh, I'll take it. I'm just not gonna call it.
Yeah,
No,
and
that's not
no
what we're
360 no scopes. Like we won't.
No, we're
Nikita
gamers
says
here.
for a low
We actually
price, she can
play.
be nice to you as well.
Wait, what?
Low price.
Nikita says
Something
for a
about
low
using
price,
her for a low
she can be
price.
nice to
That's
him
all
as
I
well.
heard.
Honey, I'm a comedian. I don't have money.
It's true.
I mistook you for an artist in college.
That's that Asian blood. It doesn't show my age.
You just said it was aging.
Oh.
Anyway,
Should have wore a flat jacket.
moving on.
360 headshot.
You were not prepared.
What?
FPS Doug.
First person shooter. I don't know who the fuck FPS Doug is, but I got it.
What can you get for $1? A coffee
I'll
at
buy that
McDonald's.
for $1. Wow, that's a what is it with me and fucking
80s movies references.
today?
Well, I mean, last episode we did this entire edition because we were talking about Captain Marvel, and
That's
the
not
movie-
an 80s
Hey, no, don't.
It takes place in the 80s.
Let me get around to it here.
Spoiler.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
God damn it! I didn't ask for one.
Spoiler: Frank Castle kills people.
Right.
Yeah, that's a spoiler. We were talking about Captain Marvel. We were talking about everything retro
John Wick is
90,
angry.
and we were bringing up all these old 90 products and stuff like that. And so a lot of
You
people.
didn't just blend the 80s and 90s into one.
No, I'm trying. Shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
No.
No.
We pivoted.
We're
We're back on you now.
Right. Pivot back over here. So we were talking about the 90s and all the technologies and all the fun stuff. So if this is retro out into 80s, that would be even more fun because there's a lot of really cool things in the 80s I grew up with. So if you have that conversation, I'm totally okay with continuing the 80s conversation.
No.
All right, well. Shut the fuck up anyway.
That's Daniel says that's obvious. You broke. No, that's true. That's fair.
By the way, Captain Marvel set in the 90s.
That's
Is
what
it?
I was. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
No, don't even argue.
That's
My bad.
why we were having the conversation last week about all the 90s equipment and gear and TV shows and movies and stuff like that.
I knew that.
And you were talking 80s. I was like, we can have that conversation because that's a lot. We were talking about stuff that was in the 80s. We could, no, it was 90s and figuring that shit out because a lot of
All
shows
right.
were built in 1990.
Okay. I believe you.
Nikita says a lot of us aren't that old, so simmer down.
Damn. I was just going to redirect back to speaking of
Simmer down.
horses.
All right.
Quit beating
Fine.
it.
Goddamn.
I mean, she
millennials.
was born in the 90s.
Yeah.
I feel like Nikki is just like sitting in this like throne with like IVs of just energy drinks, like slightly humming, slightly glowing, just being like, "This is
I
what
hope not. I don't.
Like she has like
Distraction.
5 different monitors going, just roasting different podcasts.
All right, I like that.
She's like, this is all fueled by the collective tears of all these comedians. Soon I'll have enough energy to ascend to my final form. Like Cell. She's just absorbing these androids that are comedians.
Damn. Dear friend of mine. Oh, shit.
She said, no, I'm actually hot.
Well, that's a fan fiction
It's
waiting
true.
to be written.
No.
No,
It's true, she
It's
is.
been, yeah.
Wait, is this Nikki Robinson?
No.
No.
I'll show you. Hang on.
No, we are not going to leer at our viewers.
No, but I'm trying to. He might.
I want to see.
not-
I mean, I still sustain that she's just being sustained on this throne.
But your tears are a nice marinade for my steak.
Oh wow, yeah.
Fuck you, Nikki. You like your steak well done. No.
She likes her meat well done.
She likes her steak well done.
Right. That's what
She likes her comedian well done.
I think she'll just cook you to burn you,
Yeah.
not eat you.
You're going to singe a little.
All hail Queen Nikki. Thank you, Joshua.
Nikki.
Joshua Hucks.
Oh hell, Queen Nikki.
She comes.
Spoiler alert: Nikki is Thanos.
Oh, dear.
Did you just? Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's the snap.
Now he's just waiting for the rebuttal.
That's layered references.
When she comes on the show, we're gonna have to give her like a crown.
Don't give her the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, that's his. He's Thanos.
was.
And it holds a whole cup of coffee.
Yeah, you got it for Christmas
Nice.
from Trey. Thanos Cup.
Nice.
So they get the money. I will go get me.
This show is just us waiting on Nikki to give us prompts.
I know. Right?
Today. It depends on the day, man.
I feel like I could just I'm totally phoning in this episode because I'm just literally repeating what Nikki says.
All right,
Well,
we're waiting.
could not.
Brought to you in part by Nikki.
This episode is sponsored in part by Nikki, our queen and savior.
She's roasting you
That's
like
what
fucking
she
beans, dude.
What do
You're
we
gonna
got?
be ready for Starbucks soon. No, that's just in general. She hadn't said anything else.
Oh, man.
Well,
say roasting
she
you like
did say
beans. I
your
wasn't
snaps
sure
were
there.
fail.
Yours now.
She said they
Your
were terrible
snaps
layers,
are
fill of
fail.
shame.
Wow.
Feel ashamed.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
When you hit rock bottom, you stop being able to feel shame. You just use it as a blanket and warm yourself.
Honestly.
Damn.
You sit in your little cave of tears, and then it's like, oh, this ain't so bad. Listening to your one My Chemical Romance CD on repeat, but it's not even a good CD. It's the first one.
You did say
You said My Chemical Romance, so yeah, we're good.
It's the first CD.
Are you not okay?
I'm not even going
It
there.
suddenly turned into a therapy session.
Nothing wrong with that.
How did that make you feel?
Show me on the Dr. Pepper can where the heckler touched you. That's my soul.
Fish on a big
Okay.
fucking hook.
It's really hard to grab a drink around here. Ugh. No, we had an episode where I don't remember who made the joke. Some joke was made, and he was in the middle of a drink and sprayed it across the wall.
You had an honest to
That
God
never
spit
has
take.
happened.
Yeah,
You had a spit take. That's
Twice.
awesome.
Twice. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, if the jokes are funny and I'm drinking, I've gotten you a couple times though, where you were drinking and I just you were not paying
We're
attention.
reminiscing. That's usually the last hour of the show. Y'all are skipping ahead.
All right, it's a speed episode this week.
56 minutes.
56
I
minutes
did
just
say you're skipping ahead. Yeah.
roasting.
All right. So you act. You're the voice actor for a bunch of
Yeah.
Actory things.
Japanimation or anime or
yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And
We'll do that.
obviously you enjoy doing that.
I do.
You wouldn't keep doing it in theory.
No,
because
I mean,
there's other jobs that you
People
could do.
don't enjoy addictions most of the time. Like, I would say I'm an addict
You're
at this
doing
point.
it wrong.
Damn, son. Find something you
No,
love
I
and
love-
get paid for it.
I love what I do.
Then you can
on
hate
my
it too.
Right.
I love what I do. I love the job. I
Yeah.
would say out of everything that I've done so far, voice acting is the hardest, just because it's like, I would say it's like acting in a straitjacket because you're usually in a tiny booth with no one else making choices, hoping that they're good.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, your facial expression, that weird scratch, stuff like that's not getting picked up by the audience.
Yeah, but it's also like those. You would think that would be an advantage, but those can paint a picture of a character without you having to rely solely on your voice. So like these
Fair.
these
Body
little
language is evocative.
like for instance like like one of the most like iconic roles for a lot of people is the joke, like Heath Ledger's Joker, and he does this one thing that really just like that special icing, the lick thing.
Yeah.
It's such a small motion, but it really defines the character, and it's one of the things
You
that
like
like anybody
cherry chapstick, right?
yeah, and so and there's a lot of things like that. And when you're voice acting, you don't get to decide that anymore. Like you just have your voice to sell it. And then if you're, especially in dubbing, if you're the first person to record, you don't even get to base your performance on how other people. So a lot of times like on
Oh yeah, if you're the first one, that makes sense.
yeah, if you're on set, like I can base a lot of my performance off of what you're doing. But when you're in dubbing, if you're the first person to record,
You got nothing.
good luck.
Right.
you,
Well, not just that, but everybody else is now
Is
basing their performance on yours.
on
So
yours.
if you suck, the whole production's fucked.
and it's so much harder. It's challenging, and I like that about it. I actually enjoy that because, some especially like commercial work can get a little formulaic over the years. And so
I still have the commercial on my computer, but you were the Dorito commercial you were in. Your first one, young, long-haired, emo-looking mofo.
oh Sasuke all the way.
Yeah, the emo-looking dude. He was in a Doritos commercial. Where no real lines. I think he said one thing in it, but Doctor got in there and he was eating Doritos and
It was all
types.
facial expressions.
I mean, type something and then suddenly he turned into a giant Dorito.
you want to hear a fun fact about
That was like a
commercial?
Super Bowl commercial, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know the fun fact about the commercial? I had like 102 fever for that entire shoot.
That's not fun.
Yeah, that like I was sick.
I thought that studio was
so
just hot
sick.
because you were like looking like sweaty and pale. And
Yeah, I was
thought that
so
was your
sick for
character.
that entire shoot. I was
How
barely.
long ago was that? Now
That's 2010.
Yeah.
like I was.
it was
I
a
young.
Super Bowl commercial that he was a part of. I was like, oh, saved it. I was gonna throw it up here, but of course, nothing's
don't.
working.
A Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, I don't know what
You get
happened.
residuals?
No. It was like for that because at that time Doritos was running all these like competitions where people would send in commercials, and then like the top 10 or whatever would go in and be aired or whatever. So it wasn't like it was even like we were approached by Doritos to do a commercial. It was just like all these big directors, and at the time the director that was shooting that one was this guy in the Midwest. He was doing a lot of cool stuff. His name was Sean Lorden, and he was like, "Hey, I saw your reel on your agent's site. Would you, you've got really big facial expressions." And I was like, "That's a compliment."
You got really big facial expressions.
That's a compliment, I
That's a
think.
different kind of casting call.
Involves a couch.
Pay is probably better.
And all the guys are nodding and all the girls are going. Because they don't watch that kind of porn.
But yeah, and then so he booked me, and then I showed up and I was like, I have a fever, but I'm not missing this opportunity, so here we go.
and you were in
Yeah, it
And
was
there
super
you
fun.
go, yeah.
It was super fun.
because it's on your reel.
Yeah, because I'm proud of it. I mean, I'm proud of being a part of it. It was really fun.
You can move your mic. You know that, right?
I know, but I
He
just
could,
keep leaning
but
back.
then-
But I also keep
yeah.
like hitting the table. Anyways,
So move the mic over there. You want
yeah. So I can do the
the
Dr. Malcolm lean.
There we go.
I'm really just trying to get myself shot.
they're both furiously typing over there. So.
Yeah, I'm busy. Don't worry about me.
But yeah, so yeah, that's that. I've done
All right,
a lot of
so
shoots where
when did you get into the voice acting part? Like how far after that? Because that's the first actual like credit I've ever seen with you in it.
that was about so I would say about 6 years in. I was doing I had written, produced, and starred, which
And that Doctor Who thing.
yeah, in a Doctor Who fan series, and a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing voice acting?" And it's not really a prevalent thing because I was still in the Oklahoma market at the time, and there's just not a whole lot of it. So I was like, "No, not really." And he's like, "Well, you should come try it." And so
I mean, they should be shooting for Trimmer 7 soon.
yeah, but that's going to be a documentary now instead of being fiction. But anyways, and so I went in, and the first thing I got to record on was Tokyo Ghoul. I did 2 seasons of Tokyo Ghoul, and I just fell in love with it. First of all, it was kind of surreal, growing up as with anime, being that I'm partially Japanese, and also that's kind of the era that Pokemon really brought anime to the forefront of the mainstream. And I got distracted. I was like, "Bing, bing!" I was like, "Oh, hey!"
I'm
No,
sorry.
we're
That's
Googlers here. We don't
I'm
be-
sorry. That's all your time today.
I know. I wanted to know what Nikki said.
She has her own ding now.
Yeah, she has her
Wow.
own message sound. But yeah, and so it was surreal to do that, and then also the fact that it was just super challenging. So
Well, okay. So what was your first anime character?
it was a lot of just like I was like
You did Walla.
yeah, it was Walla and Bits. So
By the way,
there-
if you don't know, Walla's all the background voices you hear in anime and stuff like that.
and Bits are like all the characters that don't have names, or they are only appear in like one episode. I've done
They have names.
kind
Don't
of.
be so mean.
If somebody
They're so
says they have a
cool.
name,
red shirt number 6.
it's more like Soldier 15C, Soldier 15B, Soldier 15A. Like I've done like hundreds of those, hundreds. And so as far as like actual characters, I've only done like a few. I did one in the last season of Fairy Tail. I was the snake, or he doesn't really have a name, but he's in like 3 episodes, and his name's Orochi Tamer. And then I did the hardest. It's funny. The first real role I got, he started me in the deep end because it was a creature voice with an extremely complicated name. It took me 10 minutes just to get his name down, the pronunciation of his name down. And he's being strangled for half the episode that he's in. So,
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a hell of a role, right?
it was
there.
a hell of a role.
You sure you didn't dream this wasn't a casting couch?
I was not on a couch.
What's the name of the character?
His name is Rirayu Spenya in Darun. That was his,
What?
That was his name?
That was his name.
Jesus.
Say it one more time. Hold on.
No.
Please don't.
Rirayu Spenya in Darun.
Okay, well, that kind of, no.
Okay.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Rolls
right
off
off the tongue naturally like it was my own name.
Yeah.
It took you how many tries?
I don't know how many tries it took. All I know is that I made it into an outtakes reel that that got put out. Where it's like,
So you had a seizure on film.
I did.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
there you go.
I had a straight seizure because I didn't know I was going to be recording for that. I did an audition for him. It was just like I got scheduled to do the shoot to do the session, and he's like, "Okay, you're going to record for this character." Okay, what? Like, first of all, I was like, "Oh, my first real role. Let's let that sit in." At the same time, I've got to make up a voice right now, and so.
And that's the voice you chose?
Well, it's the choice, the voice they wanted, because like whenever they do that kind of thing, they'll guide you into kind of what they're looking for, and so that was the voice that ended up because I can't say what his actual direction to me was, but
That's fine.
It was so sorry to all of my viewers here, but he was like, so the first thing I'm going to tell you about this guy is that he's a bitch, and I was like, okay, so he's kind of got like I was like, all right, cool, I got this.
Okay.
But he's also a snake. So you want that. And he's like, but not as much. Okay, cool. And so what ended up being was this sort of like, oh, yes, everybody's my master. Who's ever strongest? I get owned by everything. I was like the snake version of Krillin.
Sunny Street watches this.
You know the meme, Sonny. Don't act like you don't know.
Goku, no!
Thank you, Team 4-Star.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've watched quite a few. It's still a favorite.
We've watched 3 scenes on repeat.
Oh, well, yeah.
Why does he keep?
Why the dick? Why does he always kick me in the dick?
I mean, to be fair,
And then they
Caleb likes the rest.
they're the bird outside.
Like the rest. I want a plasma screen TV. I have a special love for Team 4-Star.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least they came out with the Android 13 where Goku gets kicked in the dick, and then suddenly his son disappears in the future. He's like, we gotta help him. No, you let him sit there, and that's what it feels like. I was like, what the hell? We died laughing for I don't know how many times.
we watched it on repeat.
We did. Why does he keep kicking me in the dick? That was the cooler episode they did. And then they finally finished their season 3 series.
All right, we got a new message.
Where did he keep kicking?
She just called you Great Value Frieza.
Wow.
Wait, me or him? I'm assuming him.
Ouch.
Damn.
You know, that's a compliment for me. That's
Wow.
That's next level for me.
Great
So thank
Value
you.
Frieza.
I'll be great.
You are Walmart clearance
Wow,
brand Frieza.
dude, that's
God,
You know what?
Wow.
I would have taken Dollar Tree Frieza. You know, you're upgrading me. I'm taking. I would have even gone for thrift store Frieza. Like I'd have taken it. I've been like, thank you.
Chris Harris is just like, wait a minute.
Somebody's talking about me. Who wants my job? All of a sudden, a beam just pierces my skull.
That would be Queen Nikki's job.
already then.
One more soul to add to the pile.
I think that's me.
Oh, that your phone
It
is
is me.
dinging?
I'm sitting there trying to figure out who's got their damn phone on and turned up, and it's me.
Glad we could clear that up.
Because I'm getting messages, but it's from
No, this is
updates.
This is other bullshit. This is other stuff. Don't. Ba-dum-bum.
This dead air is brought to you in part by our great overlord Nikki. What do you got now?
Nothing yet.
No, just
I need stimulation.
Trey.
I say that all the time.
You gotta watch your words with
Does
him.
that work?
Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Are you sure you're okay with being on the show?
I don't know. I feel like this is.
Hey, he's lasted an hour.
He has.
I have.
But at some point, his stamina is gonna. He's gonna
Again,
leave. He's gonna leave here
he's
and be like,
lasted an hour.
so when you come back to the show, I can't.
I have other commitments.
If you have depression and anxiety that lasts more than 4 hours, call a doctor. So we're replacing Viagra and okay, cool.
I got the point. It's just
It's less funny when you explain.
I know.
Thanks for the joke.
Like I think we all got it.
Did I humor right? Did I comedy well?
Did I humor right?
Did I comedy good?
so before the show, we were all talking about we were all joking about the different versions of Captain America, different
Oh yeah,
countries.
yeah. I thought it because it's like I'm a Japanese American. There's Chinese American. I think that'd be funny.
Stand by.
Nope, we're done with whatever that was. What is it?
He's learning quick.
Nikki said, "I can't believe he's riding my dick this hard. Wine and dine me first. Damn."
Again. I can't afford the dine part.
God damn.
I knew something was
That's worse
coming as
than
soon
me,
as you
man.
said Queen Nikki or Overlord
I'm pretty
Nikki.
bad at that.
I was like,
That's
"Yep, here we go."
harsh. That is harsh.
I can't believe he's riding my dick this hard. Wine and dine me first. Damn.
Can't afford the dine part.
There's wine to your right.
And that's not even mine. I have to borrow wine. Oh man.
Burn so bad it gives you shivers. All right. Back.
He's got third-degree burns over 90% of his body.
This is the work of Nikki. She struck again.
There's a comic book in waiting right there.
This is the fourth one we found this week.
Hey, it's my line. The fourth. Wow. You straight up fucking stole my line.
There are no scripts here, people.
She says she can't afford the wine either. Don't
Staged
lie.
by the-
I wasn't.
Bust
I said I could borrow it. I said I could borrow it.
I can give you rum. Will rum be okay?
Where's all the
Nikki,
rum
is
gone?
rum okay?
Just like dousing myself in kerosene. Like, yeah, this is my Saturday.
You regret every minute of this, aren't you?
I don't have body hair.
Now I'm just
Alrighty.
waiting for the rebuttal.
I know this whole episode has been like a silent. like it's just me responding to this other side of this. And the viewers
That's
are like,
not even in this chat.
Right? That's the thing. Most of our guests are, what?
this even a
Where are they getting
podcast?
this?
Yeah, well,
I
our
never-
chat is not working the greatest as it. I've been trying to fix it the entire episode, keeping it going. And sometimes it works, and then for Bat, it does not. It's
No,
like three other.
not for us too. 'cause
three- yeah.
I'm showing up.
Like all the people that are coming on for like that I social media posts about are like, I'm not even sure what's happening. Like, I thought this was a podcast.
It is.
There's a lie.
Trey, go check.
What is that?
Nothing. Just ignore me.
Don't worry about it.
I will later.
I
She
don't know.
said, "I bet you."
No,
his shoes
don't. See,
No,
you gotta
no.
spoil it.
I gotta know. So,
She said, "I bet you his shoes are sketchy."
put your feet up. Let's see your shoes.
We're judging.
Put
now.
your feet up. Wow, dude.
He's flexible, Nikki.
I'm going to say they're overpriced and fancy looking, but not really very utilitarian. They don't. Yeah, they're not going to last.
roasting.
If you get what I mean.
Do what?
The roasting of today is just wrong. Like
I didn't invite you on the show to be roasted. I apologize in
I'm
advance.
No,
on
it really. It's almost always him. So.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
I'm on board. I'm on board.
I'm so glad somebody could take the bullet. It's been a trying week,
I
bro.
was like, yes.
I'm just worried about like hour and a
Bullets
half when I
plunged.
stop like having rebuttals. It's just like me
Eventually, you're
awkwardly
going to run
staring at.
dry.
When it
Yeah, I
eventually
know.
starts to actually hurt. Ow.
She's like, "You're a voice
said.
actor?" Question mark.
Damn. Cat got your tongue?
What commercials are you in so I know what to not buy?
Ouch, dude.
That's not going to help your career.
Is it, you were in a Doctor Who
harsh.
fan film. Can we go back in time and erase it?
Self-roasting. Self-roasting.
Are you trying to out roast
These
yourself?
are coming from the heart, man. This is from your fan mail, isn't it?
Just all the comments and everything I've ever done.
This is from Twitter.
Vicky goes generic product.
generic
Your
product.
Your boots.
Generic product
God
number
damn it.
1.
Fucking Vicky.
Oh.
Wow. All right, to any future guests, please understand that apparently it is a roast session when you walk on the stage.
Ashley goes, who watches commercials anymore?
That's what the fast forward button's for.
Tell you should have known better. Sorry, Cory. That's right. Let's not invite any important people on the show.
No, I think that'd be awesome if that turns what the show be.
Why did you just burn your guests by saying not to invite
No, because
important
that's what he said. Coach, like, or not Coach, but Bat's like, you should have known better. And it's for me, like, I'm sorry, it's from the apology portion. You should have known better than bring him on the show. God damn it, you know I'm right.
Nikki's like infecting his brain too.
He secretly bought
Yep.
lube. What?
Secretly.
They know.
It's not secret when the FedEx guy rolls up and flaps the tailgate down and wheels the
It's not secret when
55-gallon
you start-
drum out onto the lift gate and then winches it up into your. That's not secret. At that point, your neighbors know.
It's not secret when Sam's Choice cuts you off.
Yes,
They're like,
yes.
you
There's
have-
Astroglide, and then there's the Sam's Choice brand, Space Smooth.
Space.
I would have gone with Space Kid.
It's got like a terrible like hand drawn version of Elon Musk on the front.
Not lubing shit
With Elon Musk.
Be your woman's spaceman tonight.
Buy this for your SpaceX.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
We're never going to get sponsored by that guy.
What are you talking about? He shipped a car into space. He's on board.
The car was paid for, so it
Yeah.
didn't cost him anything.
He makes flamethrowers.
Right,
This
it
is
was
the kind of-
we could definitely go down the boring company route.
Yeah.
You know, they dig deep holes.
Nikki is currently
Keep
basking
going.
in the fact that he's not roasting himself and she doesn't have to do any work.
Right, so you just sit back and relax. Ain't good now.
Look what I've done. I've turned him on himself.
I just wanted to say turned it on.
He has made it a
Same
mirror
sentence.
match.
And she's like, and my master's in psychology wins again.
Wow.
You are her thesis.
Yep. She has like just like 90 case studies, and that's her.
More and more, it sounds like she is a joker.
Do you want to know how I got these comedians to roast themselves?
It's not bad.
You're welcome.
Wait,
You're
what is
welcome.
She said, wow, the title of my next album, Space Smooth.
Make sure you invite William Shatner to be a guest artist. His spoken word poetry, he really does put a lot into it. I mean, he runs a horse ranch, so he's got a lot to give. But, you know, he got it.
We all got it.
Jokes about manure are there's a texture.
Pristine. They're just
Comedy
top
gold.
shelf.
Bat it's not showing up here. Bat goes, infecting me with her thoughts. Oh no, honey, I got my own.
With his
There's
song.
just happens to be within the same realm. Oh, now they're gonna go at each other.
It hurt itself in its confusion.
You're not even a person.
Nikki cast self-deprecate. It is highly successful.
Super effective. Critical hit.
Now you're a Pokemon. All right.
Damn. Yeah. What?
Yeah, but I'm like a Bidoof. Nobody's catching me.
You're like a.
Even a shiny, like no.
I'm
like a what?
I'm a Badoo.
I am like
That is gonna get clipped, and that's going
Yes.
on your fucking IMDb.
Yeah, it
I
is.
am a Bidoof quote.
A shield.
Did you actually share this stream out on yours?
yeah, I did.
Okay, because
Oh dear.
I hope all your
all the
I hope
fans.
all your Take One friends are watching right now. If they're not, you
I
should
bet
text.
they're-
Only gonna be like Bidoof memes in the Slack.
Oh dear.
I'd like to say I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny. So. And if it's funny,
Oh, but he's doing it to himself.
Right.
now.
Yeah.
It's not like-
it's all cell
I
phone.
mean,
he's apparently easily trained because he's now just flagellating himself.
Nikki just pushed.
Did I do good, Daddy?
Nikki just pushed him to the edge. He was like, "I got this," and jumped.
She just kicked the chair out from him.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah, you can lift it up.
Okay, yeah.
Alrighty.
I noticed as he goes more himself, he just slowly leans more and more further away from the
Well,
microphone.
he's retreating into safety. If I back away from the mic, maybe Nikki will stop.
Collapse into myself like a neutron star.
turtleneck. Here.
Yeah. Collapse into myself like a neutron
Speaking
star.
of roasting, which state is Jamil supposed to roast tonight? Or
Ooh, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
coming back to that.
Back to
Somebody
our
missed
Jamil's
the first
taking
5
tonight.
minutes.
So he's not a pitcher, he's a catcher. Giggity.
No, I'm laughing at Nikita with beaver looking ass.
Giggity, giggity.
Who did you just call a beaver looking ass? What the fuck?
Damn.
God damn.
It's the Nikki show.
What?
I think she needs her own show. We just put up random people and she can roast them for 5 minutes each. That would be
5
great.
minutes. She's been going on for like half an hour.
No,
She's
no,
been
we're
going
just
on for an hour.
We're just gonna keep giving her different photos of different people.
Oh, is she saying I look like a beaver?
I guess.
I get. Well, I
She
don't know.
wasn't very specific.
No, that's fair.
That's kind of rude.
That's fair.
And then she had it.
I mean, does she mean like?
I had to have my front
What?
teeth
I'm not
filed
sorry.
down.
Yeah,
I had to have my
See,
teeth.
that's rude.
Yeah, see,
That's
I-
hurtful.
they found it.
I,
Found your hurt point.
nah, I don't have. Even that, I'm not.
He said it was a comedian.
Yeah, I don't have a
The only
soul
way you can
left.
hurt him is to say he's not funny.
Well, I mean, you're a comedian. Every comedian has the ways to deal with hecklers. What's yours?
You're looking at it. It's just to, like stare him right in the eyes and just like, oh, am I doing good? Is this what you want?
You need to move the hand down. Some.
She's like, I didn't push. I coaxed.
Super cool. Is this good for you?
Okay.
This is what you into.
She says, I'm not there for the aftercare, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
Afterglow, aftercare, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, what state are you roasting? What are you doing next week? Not coming on your show. All right, cool. Ooh.
I don't know. I don't have any clue what state I'm roasting.
Well, you're supposed to pick, randomize.
Let's go Utah. Let's go for low hanging fruit.
No, we got to give him a state that he can actually roast. All the ones up there, Wisconsin, all them, they were pretty like, what the fuck am I going to say about Wisconsin?
You don't have nothing to say about Utah.
The best parts of it were in SLC Punk. And
That's
those
fair.
were the jokes on Utah. The best part is the state line to get out of it.
Can we go ahead and do Florida? Because you've been wanting to do Florida.
It feels like that's going to be like, that's a whole episode. Like, you
No.
have to handle that with
No.
reverence.
Florida is the flaccid penis of America.
There we go.
It's
Florida
where all
it
the-
is.
It's where all the smegma goes. And that's
Nice.
what we always have. Florida man does something stupid.
Yeah.
Every day
I
there's
don't know
a
if
Florida.
I have any family watching
Okay,
right now.
let's do this. Let's go around table. What is your favorite Florida story? Favorite Florida story.
I'm going to go with a classic
have any.
of bath salts and eating a face.
Nice.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
All right.
You smoked bath salts and you ate someone's face. Like, the fuck were you doing? Like,
Smoking bath salt.
Clearly,
the,
I mean-
the plane that crashed in the Everglades full of, whatever urban legend creature. Of the week.
bullshit. This was in Miami. It was on a street corner.
I'm not talking about your face.
I'm talking about the face.
I'm talking about a different Florida story. My favorite
Oh,
Florida
well,
story.
your flavor.
Your face is not my favorite Florida story.
Fine. What's yours?
I just said it's the urban legend. A plane crashed in the Everglades with random animal of the week, and now there's parrots or monkeys or elephants or whatever all over the Everglades.
Nice.
Or responsible Republican voters with empathy and care.
Some mythical creatures.
Right, unicorns.
Let them out into the wild. And now the Republicans have flourished in Pasadena. They are.
Trey, you want to handle this one?
Woo! No, we're good. Keep going. I like it. I like it. No, I mean, and I mean, there's the whole Church of Scientology's got their fort there.
Ashley's
Woman stabs husband with a squirrel.
That's a good one. I remember that one.
Stabs with a squirrel.
I remember that one.
Sure. I guess.
I don't recall that one, but
I remember that one.
what is it?
There's a new.
I don't remember
Florida
the
story.
details of it. I just remember that, like, seeing
someone
that
gets stabbed
headline
with a
and being
fucking
like,
squirrel.
awesome.
I guess if you're gonna do it.
What's your favorite Florida story?
I can't actually tell most of what makes the story amazing, but I'll tell you what I can about it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of
Legal? Yeah, we got it.
yeah. But my favorite one
love
is
that
this
all the
guy was on substances of some sort, not
kidding.
explicitly stated.
in Florida?
Yes, and he was on top of somebody's house doing his business. The cops show up.
Wait. Which business?
His business.
His business.
Yeah, his
He could
business.
have been shitting.
That's true.
a different
well,
kind
that
of
plays
business.
later.
Oh, play.
He so he's butt naked, jumps off the house,
What?
punches one of the officers in the face, runs in the house, empties the contents of a vacuum cleaner into his mouth, and then runs into this person's daughter's room, and they're not home, by the way, and finishes his business. That was the full range of everything that happened.
When did this happen?
It was like
Synthetic pot,
2000,
not even once.
2010, 2011, somewhere around there.
Jeez.
Because I was doing I had a
I
segment.
think Crocodile was still pretty hot back then.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a podcast where my whole segment was to come onto the show and give the story from Florida of the week that I had found. So
So you have plenty of stories.
I have some that I can remember. Yeah.
Were you in Florida?
No, I would go. It wasn't hard. You could do one Google search, Florida stories, and then you would just have a plethora to pick from. Because it seems like they have nothing better to do than show up the rest of the country on who can be craziest. And Arkansas's over there like, oh man, they stole our thing.
By
I
doing.
have found Ranker, the top list of weird things that happened in Florida in 2018.
All right.
In 2018, they had to limit. Yeah,
Yeah. A man tried to purchase a hot dog with cannabis.
Yep.
I totally see that.
An intoxicated man started a fire while making cookies in the nude on a George Foreman grill.
Yep.
Why not?
That's smarts.
Candidate for the House of Representatives in Florida believes aliens abducted her.
They did. She's in the House of Representatives.
Security officer fired for uploading his farts to Instagram.
Now, see that only if he was doing it on the clock. All right, otherwise,
Look at the photo. He's in his suit.
That
it
is
doesn't matter. It
the
could be a different
best-
company.
That is the best version of moonlighting.
Wait, is that like Mall Cop guy? Look at.
Oh yeah.
The account is
That's
called
the-
Paul Flart.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
He looks like the.
That is
Wow. Okay.
That
yeah.
sir-
Fire his ass. You're fired.
No,
He's
that
fired.
sir is a genius. He should be exalted. That is wonderful.
Upload your farts
it's
to.
not.
Yes, that like you.
No.
That is a story to tell your grandkids. I got farted. Or I got
I got fired for
Farting.
farting.
I got farted. I got fired.
I-
That's wonderful. I
no.
He is now my patron saint.
Wow.
You know, the self-roasting's done. You don't have to keep doing that.
A man had his monkey taken away after he was arrested for driving a stolen car. And I had to stop and go, was it the man or the monkey who was driving the car? It was, in fact, the man.
Only in Florida do you have to, in all
You have to
honesty, ask
yeah.
that question.
Exactly.
A spider monkey attacked a Home Depot employee when it escaped from its owner's car.
Marcel.
They do that.
Curious George
The
goes to Home
city-
Depot.
The city of Lake Worth warned its residents about zombies.
Yeah, no, that was real. I mean, the warning.
I'm looking at the warnings. Right?
Yeah, see,
It's real.
it was a test message or some shit.
See, you can't roast a state that's roasting itself.
So
That's
it's
not
the
really Florida.
Corey
It's
Phillips.
the-
It's
They
the
did.
Corey Phillips Estates.
Yeah.
I mean, they saw it on CSI, so
Yeah.
Justin said he found your Florida story. By the way, it's legit. Post the link, Justin.
A woman blamed a windy day for the cocaine found in her purse. Bitch, how windy was it?
You know what? That might be a valid
I was just
explanation.
saying we are talking about Florida.
Florida. There is a 12% chance of cocaine in the upper region.
No, it'd be down by Miami.
Someone donated a loaded grenade launcher to Goodwill.
Well, I mean, you
That's
don't
giving-
want to, keep the grenades at home. You don't have any use for them once you've donated the launcher. You might as well go ahead and include them. I mean, I get it. Makes sense to me.
Do I get a tax write-off for this?
Yes.
Police arrested a Florida man for climbing on top of a playground structure and lecturing kids on where babies come from.
That
Hey,
man
they
is a
cut-
civil servant.
They cut
I
funding.
mean, he needs help, but he needs a mask.
Your parents won't tell you what I'm
It's
about
not that
to.
he's ugly. It's full facial.
Oh, it's
tattoos.
it's not okay
Full
if I-
facial tattoo.
It's okay if I don't do it, but if I do it in some like tiger suit, now it's okay.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
You
What's
have
wrong
more-
with tiger suits?
I'm
You got
curious.
a problem with tiger suits?
What else do you have on that?
Guy tried to trade alligator for beer.
Again, it's a barter system.
There's
Here's
a
the
couple
problem
of
here.
states that could probably claim
Yeah.
that one.
Real
Yeah.
cop gets pulled over by a fake cop.
That's funny.
That is painfully wonderful.
Man submits a job app to Citgo, then robs it.
Again, I told you I needed money.
Teen shoots himself in the penis while cleaning gun.
Which one?
Yeah, okay, there's a lot of internet videos of that happening. So
We actually had a show. We were looking at some of these.
We have not shot ourselves in the dick.
No.
Okay, just
Did
making
not-
sure.
did not say
Just
that.
cutting that off.
Well, you
that
can
a-
cut yours off. I'm good. But
Shooting. off.
no, this guy was talking about. We were watching it, talking about hunting with bird shots and shot a hole right in his roof and just dropped his gun.
Yeah, because the gun didn't fire and he set it down on the ground to look at it and looked directly down the fucking barrel
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
and literally missed his face by about an inch.
Took the hat off.
yep.
Should have taken his head off. Jesus fucking idiot.
Anyways,
State ban on dwarf tossing up for repeal.
did you say dwarf tossing?
Dwarf tossing.
Dwarf tossing.
Florida had a ban on tossing dwarfs.
And now they don't? What, do they have a problem?
And now it's
Someone wants to repeal it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that is... It sounds like a libertarian. I mean,
State rep filed a bill to do so because it would limit employment opportunities.
do they have a lot of dwarf tossing jobs that they're losing in Florida?
Well, if there's dwarf wrestling, I would assume they get tossed at some point.
Right, but that doesn't seem... That's not the job. That's one of the
God.
perks. I mean, one of the tasks, duties. I really am sensitive to the needs of short people, but...
Guy gets a DUI with a squirrel
Come on.
tucked in his shirt.
The squirrel is irrelevant. Was he driving while intoxicated, or was he squirreling while intoxicated? It's a big difference. One of them's illegal. the
Sir, you
other's
seem
not.
squirrely. Are you on something? Ah, puns.
No, I have something.
I
Anyway,
gotta look up 2017 now.
operation not permitted. Fuck you. I'm rude.
I'm Groot.
Man impersonates cop to get free access to strip club.
I fail to see. Well, I do see a problem with that. You got caught.
I'm Groot.
Let's see here.
All right, Florida, you're a horrible fucking state. You're just fucking useless. Jesus, so goddamn useless.
Florida man tries to break into
NASA.
a car.
Not
NASA.
Florida man tries to break
What
into
have
a
they done
car.
lately?
Arrested by deputies who were
launched
waiting
a rocket
inside the car.
Did you not look first?
That's what I was-
What?
Did you not knock? You're supposed to knock
The
when you rob.
Florida man tries to
when you
break into a car. Arrested by deputies waiting inside of the car.
You're supposed
Dude,
to
that was
knock
a
first.
skit on Vine.
Yeah.
That should not be real life.
You would think, but
That's why it's hard to make fun of Florida, because Florida's...
No, it's easy to make fun of Florida. They give you all the ammo you need.
I know, but it's already done.
Florida man wrecks a liquor shop, blames a caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
we're just going to rename this the Florida Man Show.
Seriously, can't make this shit up. When this Florida man arrested for destroying a liquor store that was under construction, he told the police it was Alice in Wonderland, and it was a hookah smoking caterpillar
Yeah,
ordered him to attack the site.
Can they prove that didn't happen? I mean, come on.
Whoa. Florida man stuffs $100,000 or $100K. Excuse me. Rephrase here. Florida man stuffs $1K
sure you get these
in his
details.
rectum to hide it from the deputies.
Right. Okay. I mean, it's not going to work. Deputies will definitely go for the ass. But
Elbow deep.
Florida man calls 911. Florida man calls 911 during the police chase, asking for Donald Trump.
that does not surprise me at all.
No.
Talk about
Got
entitled
fisted
white people.
by the deputy.
Okay, that was perfect timing.
Okay.
What?
Florida student finds a dead alligator, brings it into his dorm room.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, that also could be an Australian story, too.
I mean,
It'd be
it's
a
dead.
Louisiana story.
Yeah, that's true.
It's dead.
I might. I mean, I wouldn't drag it into the house. I'd drag it into a shed, maybe. But
And skin it and make, decent looking shoes.
and we're back.
Florida man tells the deputy he was shooting rats in his backyard after the 8-hour standoff was completed.
Sure. You don't want to shoot during the standoff. That causes
That brings the stand up to an abrupt end.
yes. Make sure it's done. Make sure all police standoffs are.
See, this
concluded.
isn't just Florida. This one here is a Florida man was charged with a DUI while driving a lawnmower. That's happened. just about-
driving while intoxicated. I mean,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
DUI. Driving
on. Y'all
under the
act like
influence.
this is
Holy
not
shit, they got a picture too,
standard
too.
case law in 50 fucking states. And
They actually got a picture. Florida men were caught stealing a power pole strapped to the SUV in the wake of Hurricane Irene. I remember-
Irene.
Why are you stealing a power pole?
They stole.
And now he's pulling it. Okay, now we're just throwing it up on the side. Really, we've become Florida Man hour.
I like the idea of looting to the point where you're stealing like light poles from the city.
Pennies from heaven, light poles from city.
Yep.
Sure, makes sense to me.
Oh, this was real. I remember seeing this. Phony sign language interpreter
He's
signing
not-
gibberish during
Yes.
a press conference. I remember that. They even did that during the hurricane. They had it
Yep.
was just throwing random gibberish signs, and nobody could understand what they were saying.
I got hired, but I was not vetted.
My wife is in college.
Sounds like the Trump administration to me.
My wife is in college to do sign language translation, and she's like,
What?
"What house?
Sorry.
The car? Wait, huh? Is this person certified?" It's like she learned random words.
Yeah, sure. That's me.
This is sign language. This means peace in lots of countries. I like the idea that it's just like he has like interpreters, but they can't interpret. Like this goes like down the line, like for everything in the administration. I love it.
Like everything else.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just going to openly dog on him at this point. I give no fucks any longer. He's still there.
Yeah.
Somebody do your job. Secret Service swears to the Constitution first, guys. Anyways,
So
All right, so fuck Florida. We covered
Yeah.
that.
yes, fuck Florida too.
What's the next segment?
we don't have segment.
We don't have segments. Are you kidding me? So I brought up the voice thing. For a reason. We're kind of so there was an article in the Intercept that was badly timed for me. It was unfortunate because one of the things that I'm working on is a voice printing as a service. And instead of being because I'm not exactly pro big government or small government, I'm not pro government. But there are some essential services that should be provided. Okay, fine. We all agreed to this. Pay your fucking taxes like a responsible adult, and we move on. But I don't think that the government or law enforcement or military should have exclusive access to databases that contain information on citizens, especially when that information is public and they're harvesting it and then not letting everybody have access to the data that the data set they built on public information. And fuck you, that's public. Cough it up. So, but they don't like doing that. So The Intercept published an article about how, believe it or not, several different agencies have been building data sets of voice print identification, which is it's another biometric, just like your fingerprint, your iris, everything else.
Yeah.
It does change slightly over time, unless you're a voice actor. Fuck you. And, you know, right. So
Just in case, stab.
Yeah.
right. Well, then that'll change again. I guarantee you, he squeals if I stab him.
I do.
What the higher pitch?
I'm a squealer.
Right. See. Most people are when you insert something small and sharp. Okay.
That is true.
Anyways, so I've been working with another guy
brought to you by
for a
Awkward.
while, who's somewhat familiar with machine learning and some of these patterns. And instead of focusing on a single AI engine or whatever speech to text engine or whatever for the voice printing, there's 2 or 3 open source projects out there that do it differently. And then, of course, there's the big 4. There's IBM Watson. There's Amazon, their Alexa service. There's the Google. You can't get away from the Google. And Google trained theirs with 411. I don't know if y'all remember that, but for like 3 years, Google had a free 411 service that you could call Goog 411. And Goog 411 is just like information anywhere else, except it was all automated with a computer. And that's how they trained their voice analysis engine, was people asking Goog 411 for random shit. And now it's, okay, Google. And I'm waiting for the ping, but yeah. Okay. And then the one people don't think about because it's on their desktops and they ignore it is Cortana. Microsoft's Cortana, which is part of the Bing engine and is now working in concert with Amazon's Alexa service. They actually talk to each other now.
Yeah.
It was an interesting strategic partnership. I'm not sure if it's doing anything for Microsoft. I'm sure Amazon's quite happy with it. But so we feed the voice print to all of these engines, and we build a confidence score based on all of their outputs, and public information that you've already given. Like you've identified yourself several times on this video, which is public. It's not a private video. Anybody can download it, right? So for instance, if we were using this as a reference, we would tag, okay, well, you've given your name, Cory Phillips, okay, and the source and the date are public, and we'll just tag them with, okay, well, this is the URL that we got this from, this is the date, and we have a very high confidence because you've said it several times during the course of this, and your face matches other publicly available information about you. Okay, cool. Now, why, one, it's kind of creepy, kind of cool, right? Okay,
Yeah.
There's some definite privacy implications. If you choose to opt out, that will be very easy to do, right? You just say, hey, look, fuckers, I don't want you collecting my information. Okay, no problem. I get it, right?
Somewhat easy to do.
However, no, it's right. There'll be a link right there on the damn page. But why would you want to do this? Well, it's publicly accessible to everybody, including you. All right? And so is, for instance, Officer Joe, whatever his name is, who also has gone on, a publicly broadcast video stream of News Channel 5 talking about our Florida man and his face-eating alligator stunt. Okay, so now Officer Joe, we got a voice print, and we've identified him, and he's been identified in a news broadcast. All right, so we got a pretty good confidence level. And then one of the other things that we're going to be doing is archiving and doing the translation for transcription of every radio feed we can get. Okay. This includes police scanners in metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
So you will be able to do a search on the database and say, what what police events were on Marsh Lane in Dallas on the 28th? And it'll show all the radio calls that had Marsh Lane as part of the text between the dispatch and the officer. And oh, what do you know? That is Officer Joe, because we voice printed him, and it'll identify him in the transcript. Now, one of the other not so creepy things is we're going to offer a free service to streamers. We will live caption your videos for closed captioning for people hard of hearing, the deaf, people that don't like having the volume turned up because it'll wake the baby or the wife or whatever. Your video will be live closed captioned during your stream if you opt in for it. And because you're on this show, it would automatically tag the guest as it would automatically have you tagged as you.
Yeah.
Again, unless you opt out. That part's going to be free. The part that's not going to be free is just randomly uploading 10 seconds and finding out who said it. Okay. Or if it's already in our database, we can tell you who said it, on what date, and what video URL. Okay. So you have a 3-second clip or a 5-second clip of Trump saying something stupid. I know it's rare, but it could happen. And we will happen to be able to show, okay, that actually, he didn't say that last Thursday. He said that in 2015 at this luncheon.
Yeah.
For instance, okay? So for some fact-checking and historical references, it's going to be handy. That's going to be a pay service. It's going to be, let's say, maybe 1,000 API calls a month for $20, $30. I don't know yet. Something like that. It's going to be as cheap as we can get away with doing it. Because, and this is all going to be under the ravensquared.org, Raven Squared Research. It's going to be under that banner. And Raven Squared is a nonprofit under the Church of the Nine Worlds, which is my big nonprofit that I do all the charity crap and everything else I do. So the point of this is the information is already there. There's already agencies and businesses making stupid amounts of money by voice printing you, but they're not giving that information back to you to use constructively for your purposes. Well, one, we're going to let you use that information however you want or to opt out. Two, we're going to give broadcasters, whether it's a streamer or a news station or whatever, here, we will close caption your stuff for free. It's the same engine, okay? And it's going to be live. The other service that we're working on is for streamers. That's going to be a paid service, another subscription. It's going to be cheap, but not sure how cheap. And in that instance, if I'm at home and Toa's broadcasting from here, for me to be part of the show, I either have to be in front of this camera or I have to broadcast OBS, and then Toa has to load up YouTube, pull down the video, insert it in, and then it's pretty obviously, and he's got double back and everything else. Yeah. Instead, I'm going to be building a repeater service. So I turn around, I broadcast to the server, to Raven Squared's video server, and Toa broadcasts to Raven Squared's video server, logs into a web page, has the OBS screen type interface, builds his screen, right, and then broadcasts to all the different streaming services or
from the server
to a URL, whatever, from that server. So he's only got to deal with his stream. He doesn't have my stream coming in and then going back out as part of his multiplex stream. And I show up in the normal spot on your display over here.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm, and the other thing is part of this is we're moving to Kansas. I went to school there. I'm going to be contributing a lot to the tech and science education curriculum as much as I can. I'm going to try to work with ADD kids. I'm still working for my major employer. They don't care where I live as long as I'm in the country. So we're going to be moving up there. Also, I get fantastic satellite reception from both coasts, which is important for Raven Squared's radio indexing service. Basically, we're archiving and indexing as many RF streams as possible. Amazon recently announced something similar. They're doing a service called Ground Station, but it's around $200 to $400 an hour, depending on what you're trying to do, and you reserve the RF feed. We're going to be capturing as much of the spectrum as possible, so you don't need to reserve a block. You just sign up, pay the monthly fee, and download RF streams from whatever frequency band plan you want and do what you want with it. If it's a satellite feed, you pull it, whatever.
Got a random message.
So, yeah, we're going to do, and all of this is going to be correlated and matched. So you can pull the transcript from your show. At the end of the show, we'll email it to you if you've signed up for the closed captioning. So at the end of the show, you'll have a transcript of everything that was said.
God
in
help
the show.
if this turned into a book. God, this plot is
part
fucking
of it.
everywhere.
But
God.
also, that means that you can...
Is he roasting himself?
Right. But the other thing is that means that you can then have a searchable archive of your video based on the transcript, which, you know, for small streamers, if I'm just trying to find where... 20 years from now, where that famous guy that looks kind of like Frank Stallone? What was his name? Right? And so I Google for, you know what? He showed up on this live stream podcast in 2019. Holy shit!
And then his career died.
Boom.
And then his career died.
Right. Or whatever.
the dry
he drank
heaving
himself
I'm
to
sorry.
death in the desert.
I'm sorry, Cory.
So that's kind of where we're going. We're not
Nice.
trying to get rich. We're trying to democratize data. That's the point. Is the data's there. People are already using it in these ways, but not giving access to the public, or it's extraordinarily expensive. Well, the data feeds from space, from orbit, $400 an hour is absurd. Having to rent a block of time if somebody else has that block, that screws you out of it because they've got more money or whatever, or they were there first, right? We're going to do the same kind of reception, but anybody can download it if they're a member.
Nice.
Log in, grab it, pull down, specify I want, 134 to 137 megahertz from this time to this time, and I guarantee you're going to get a weather satellite that goes over. You take that, you dump it into one of the APT to JPEG programs, and boom, you've got your live cloud map.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Did you understand any of that?
I understand some of it.
Well, right.
I'd say I got about
For the more
70%.
technically minded, these are open source tools.
Yeah.
They're commonly available. If you want to play
I
with the
swear to
IQ
God,
stream,
you really
if you
just
wanna
need to have your own tech show on the station. I
No,
swear.
because people will fall asleep.
Well,
There will be like 4 people around the world that are tuning in and then arguing with me.
I'm seeing that on the stream right now, but that's not a point.
See?
There are people who will actually find this intriguing. I do find this intriguing.
Well, once I get the transcripting
you
service
talking about
up,
the
then
streaming
you
service, we
can
were
then
supposed to talk
turn around and do it.
afterwards. I would hate for somebody to take this and suddenly steal this idea of yours because I think it's
It's
great.
it's all open source.
You can't steal
Go for
something
it.
that's free.
Go for it. Do it better. I challenge you. Do it better than me, because then there'll be 2.
And competition.
It's not just competition; it's collaboration.
Yep.
There'll be 2, and if they do it better than me and they're open source, haha! I now have your code, just like you have mine.
Nice.
Go for it.
All right.
That's the whole point. It's all about cooperation, collaboration, and making complex technical things that are free, literally free for the taking from the air with a metal stick. Here, you now have access to this data.
I have no idea what to do with it though. it feels like somebody's like the way he's explaining it and like from what I can understand, it's like I'm handing you this wizarding staff, and I'm over here as like a muggle. Like
It's more like a key to the library, but I haven't explained how the card catalog works.
Yeah, like I know that there is like
You can see all the books. You can see everything. But
Yeah.
how the fuck do I find that one book on the joy of sex?
or like how do I utilize this book? Like or how do I even utilize this information? Because like I listen to some tech podcasts, and like sometimes they'll explain things like how people make money. Like I'm infinitely fascinated in the scamming world. And just like how brilliant some of the scams are that are out there, like the one where people will. So there's one I was listening to, and it's a fantastic podcast. It's called Reply All. If you want to listen to something, also it's amazing.
Okay.
And there's one where he's describing how like these people call in, or like basically what this machine does is it calls people and it plays just creepy enough audio or just interesting enough audio to keep people listening. And what it does is like these phone companies like pay this company to basically get people to listen for a certain period of time, and there's like millions of dollars in this machine, like this weird complex, and they explain how it works, and I'm sitting over here like as the muggle like I get it, I think it's interesting. And I'm like it's awesome, but like it's so cool. Like, but that's kind of like what I'm dealing with right here. It's like he's got this thing, this information. It's like you could utilize this in a really fantastic way,
or you could just use it to stream shitty radio stations from Miami. I mean, really.
Back to
'Cause that's what it
Florida
boils
now.
down to.
Like,
Well,
it's like the possibility.
I'm trying to have some cohesion, okay?
but the like the possibilities are endless. But in like the hands of someone like me, it's like I don't even know like what I have. Like it's like
I told you.
That's fair.
it's like a toddler with nuclear codes.
Trey is like freakish genius over there.
No, I got that. I gathered that.
Sometimes I
So
really forget.
if you watch last show he was on,
Baby with a hand grenade.
my Jeep was having
There you
like
go.
the craziest. We had a friend over
Red button.
that
I
was
want to
trying to
push it,
find
but I
this
don't know
his
what
air,
it does.
trying to find his air leak. Couldn't find his air leak.
Vacuum leak.
Out of nowhere, he comes over, he listens, and just found it. Son of a bitch! It's like 2 hours. We're touching every hose. We're looking at. We're
There it is. Fuck. And then yanked it off and went to AutoZone and found something similar because they didn't have his part and crafted something that still collapsed under pressure because it's
did.
too much.
and then
Rubber
I
hose,
found
but-
out it burned out the catalytic. So
What
converter.
did?
The catalytic converter was burnt out too.
That's not related.
No, but I'm saying that just was another issue that evidently was a symptom to.
So did you get rid of the Jeep?
I did. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have
Well,
time.
what'd you get?
2017 Chevy Equinox. We'll look at it.
We're gonna have a discussion. No, we're not. You're not gonna make me go look at it.
Okay, then don't.
You don't want the body work.
Okay.
But are you happy with it
Yeah, so far.
so far? You had it what?
A week.
A week.
A few days. Yeah. All right.
Not too long. I've only driven it.
Well, I
to
mean,
work
I've
once
got
a-
experience fixing Chevys too. So
Yeah. No, you're more. It's cool.
if it's got electricity flowing through it or it consists of mechanical parts, I can probably figure it out or
Yeah.
already
Nice.
know how to do it.
So we went and bought this weird directional hose. I don't know what it was actually for, but it was the same diameter and it met the requirements. And then he hooked it up. The air side broke. We ended up cutting more, hooked up the air side. It ran fine. And
until he, put too much on it and it sucked too hard.
well, no, just
That was
driving
cool.
normal. If I went over 2,000 RPMs, I could start feeling it having issues, and so release the gas and then it would be fine. But
Yeah, I
when you're
needed
on
to use
highway,
a
when you
nylon
work
or
an
reinforced
hour
or
away and it's all highway and you have cars literally going son of a bitch, because you're just trying to get up there slowly. You're not trying to.
Blink. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude, I told you. I mean, okay, so I was going to fabricate something out of copper or stainless
Chad
steel.
says you have offended the Mopar whisperer.
The
what?
The Mopar.
I did. I drive.
He is a
I
Mopar
did
whisperer.
drive the Durango I did drive the Durango, and like I said, I got it up to 100. I mean, I would have gotten it up to 100 if I had been.
I actually looked at a
driving it.
Durango just because
This is a 99.
I know, but I looked at a Durango. No, I just looked at it because
Okay.
you drove one and you pretty much drove it, rebuilt it, drove it, rebuilt it, and everything.
I've-
Everything you've said you've been able to do. The
Realize
upgrade on
90% of that is because I do my thing.
I know, but
Okay,
it was the
all
whole
right.
point of like if
Now Chad's got a Durango that he seems to be happy with. He still owns it, and I've never known Chad to own something more than like 6 months if he didn't like it. So, yeah, I called you out. Get over it.
I really wanted a truck, but it just was in my price range. I had.
I know that feeling.
All the episode last week, I was talking before we got cut off. I was talking about because we went to CarMax and fuck you, dude.
Driver select's actually really good.
And I actually went to a Ford dealership of all
Yeah,
places.
no, that's cool.
They
No,
actually.
we bought the Pacifica from the Acura dealership.
Well, they were like, "You sure you don't want a Ford?" I'm like, "No." The only reason I'm here is because you have a Jeep, a 2017 Jeep that I want, or a 2000. And I was actually looking at the Jeep. The only thing I didn't like about it was red. I don't really care for a red car.
They do make paint.
They do, but that was more money.
Fair.
And then they had this 2017 Chevy Equinox, and I was like, I test drove both of them, and I don't know, the Chevy just seemed way more comfortable to me.
Oh, okay.
So
No, okay. There's a certain level of ribbing and poking fun and so on, and I will bash on GM and Ford, particularly for issues I've had and for decisions that have been made at the corporate level and things like that. But in general, a car's a car. All right.
didn't.
buy what works for you.
Well, they tried to put me in a
what's
Kia. I was
comfortable
like,
for you.
"Fuck that."
We had a Kia Rio that was Jess's Kia. We drove the thing, and we got 36 miles a gallon out of it for 7 years. I mean, or 6 years, right?
Well, I mean,
until the month after it was paid off and the warranty expired, and at which point suddenly everything broke. And you know what? It's a disposable car. She paid $9,000 for it, $9,500, and we drove it for 6 fucking years. So I mean,
You got your worth out of it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like
just go with what's comfortable.
go with what you love. Like if you're making that investment, that kind of investment, it's like go with what you love.
Chad says, Rhino-line the whole Jeep, and you don't have to worry about paint.
Yep. This is because I threatened to rhino line the basement earlier. So, in the new house we're buying.
We
Why?
just
Why not? I have toddlers. That's why. I have toddlers. So if I got to paint a wall, I'm just going to rhino line it.
I test drove a Civic Si today. That was actually kind of fun. I actually enjoyed it. It was a fun little car.
The little platform horse. Hey, I would hold off for a little bit longer until you know for a fact you can't afford the new Supra.
It's
'Cause
not
the
me.
new
It's not.
Supra is.
It's not for me. It's not for me. It's so Danny is driving an '07 Volkswagen Beetle, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's been in the shop since we've been dating.
Yep.
It's been in
Yep.
the shop like 4 or 5 times.
That's okay. My parents met over a Volkswagen repair shop. So I mean, I get it.
But it's one of those things that like for me, like
In 76.
But yeah, Volkswagen used to have a good name, but like the 2000s were a
used to shit.
it does not. It's their 2000 line.
The TGI Golf fiasco didn't help.
Yeah,
Okay, so what didn't help is the Bosch, and it kills me that Volkswagen ended up being the scapegoat for this, was the Bosch diesel emissions sensors that were programmed. If they didn't have airflow over the airflow sensor, then they knew that they were being tested and sitting still, in which case all the super emissions crap turned on. If they had air flowing in the airflow sensors, then they were moving and they turned off all the emissions controls.
yeah.
And it was Bosch that wrote it, Bosch that sold it, and Bosch that supported it. Volkswagen gets hit with it. You know who else uses those sensors? Everybody else in the fucking industry that runs a diesel engine, including Chevy, Dodge, Ford. Everybody uses those sensors. Volkswagen's the one that get nailed for it.
Yeah.
Come on.
but
So I had a Jetta, and I loved the shit out of it, but it was the diesel. I
What
had
year
to drop
was it,
it off.
though?
It was a 14.
Was it 2014
It was a 14.
Jetta?
But it was a 2014 TDI. But they put me in a rental in a loaner. It was the same model except it was the gas engine. Everything else about it was the same. Fucking hated it. Sluggish. It was slow. It wasn't responsive in any way. It was a completely different car, except the body, the frame, everything was the same on it, except it was the 1.9 or something like that gas engine with versus my 2.2 turbo diesel. So and I had a lot of fun with that car, but yeah,
My fun car was always, and just because I guess movies were, but I've test driven Mini Coopers, and I always thought it was really fun. We had a friend that
they're sloppy.
was
They're sloppy.
a little bit.
That's what I didn't like
He
about
works.
the SI.
He's certified. He works for a
light-
Mini Cooper
light
dealership,
ship.
and he repairs the engines. And I was talking to him about this, and he was
Yeah,
like,
but
"You
it's a
know,
Beamer.
you don't want one because of the little pistons they have in it
Mm-hmm.
easily break, and it's like $900 just to look at the car before they even start repair, and it takes forever to order these little parts."
Well, yeah, because it's a Beamer.
Yeah, it's a Beamer.
And so I'm literally looking through cars and everything like that, and I was like, God, there's a Mini Cooper here, low mileage, super low mileage. Oh, I could totally buy this. I can't fit anybody in it. To be honest,
Eventually everything will be random shit that I know, Chad.
I had this vision of like Police Academy where Jamil gets in the car, where
Academy?
Hightower rips out the front seat and
Hightower.
sits in the back
Hightower.
seat,
All right.
Hightower, and then
Is that-
drives from the back seat. That's
Black, isn't it?
And huge, yes.
because he's huge.
Oh,
Because he's black.
right.
Come on.
Anyway,
I think
But that's what I picture is him ripping out my front seat to go, let me test
I think
drive
I figured it out, guys. I think I hit limit at an hour and 45. I'm like over here like, Man, what have I been doing?
Oh, we're not done with you yet, buddy.
Oh no.
Are you ready to call this?
No. I just was like pointing out. I was like, I feel tired. Wow. I feel.
That's what happens when. Okay, so it happens sometimes. I love it when Trey talks tech because I feel.
No, it's not the tech. That's not what I'm talking
No,
about.
but it will.
But what it does is as soon as he started talking to tech, I watch all the different streams to see how many will drop, and we've had quite a few drop off. And it happens, and that's why I think he should have his own tech show at some point because I really think
because he doesn't want his viewership
no,
to get dinged.
No, stop. That's when you start talking boats. When he starts talking about World of Warships, I play it. He plays it.
Yep.
It just
everybody logs off. They
does.
come back in 30 minutes to see what we're talking about.
They do.
But they're still talking about that
But
fucking game.
He can go on about tech and you get really fascinated by it, but
Some people
a lot of people that watch us don't. They like to
They
see.
just want to hear me getting ribbed. In
well,
some way.
we cover. We got the wrestling sector, the popular geek movie sector, the geeky game sector, the anime sector. Right. I'm not. I was into anime at one point. Okay, I was into hentai at one point. But I've never really been into
voiced
wrestling.
hentai?
Oh dear.
No, he hasn't. No.
I almost did. That's a fun story. I almost did. Like like I got this close
Well, why didn't you?
because I didn't want to.
Why not?
Because I was in a kid show. I didn't even know audition.
It's not like the kids are going to check the credits.
Yes,
I
they
would
will.
say eventually,
They won't even make it to the credits. What are you talking
Right. Well, I was like, eventually you're gonna have the same people watching.
It was sort of like it was because I
they
didn't
get
know
older.
going in, and so I put in my
I
own
hate it
name.
when I don't know going in.
But it was it was a Mystic Messenger clone, but it was very yaoi.
A porny.
Yeah, it was very very intense, very intense, and so I had to end up backing out. I was like, I didn't know this was what this was going to
He
be,
backed out.
and I'm gonna have to. I'm in a kid show. I can't do this. I gotta step out.
Well, I mean, okay, so it'd be like Steve from Blue's Clues, suddenly popping up in a porn. And, okay, I think it'd be funny, but yeah, I get it.
about? We just got a letter. Oh, I got chlamydia.
What? There's a clue?
What's blue?
That works. Yeah, I like that.
Anyway,
Tell me who it's from.
we don't know, Steve, because you're a slut. Oh, okay.
The parodies I can think of right now.
Yeah, the chair is no longer a chair.
Dude, not really a
couch.
chair.
And now I'm thinking of a crossover with Pee Wee's Playhouse. Cherry!
What was the,
Another 90s
what was
institution.
the genie's little thing he always said? Ukalaka? No, wait, was it
I
the little head in the box?
No, I know, it
I
was
just
the
can't remember.
genie, yes.
Can't remember his little phrasing he used to always say.
don't remember. Oh God. Oh.
Make it like a hiney.
Like a hiney ho. Thank you.
And it works perfect.
Did you seriously, you search for Outlander?
I'm talking about something else.
Oh, okay. I was like, how the fuck
I'm
did you
literally
do that?
looking
Make it
at-
like a high, make a hiney ho.
Google knows you too well.
No, because
Yeah, okay, it's
I
different.
just
I get
been
it.
really good at answering questions about fucking Pee Wee's Playhouse. I don't know.
I do know
You asked.
You were
asked me
not
now.
you were not the expert that I expected. How's that?
My bad.
No,
So,
no, it's all good.
Shifting gears a little bit here, going to talk about games again here. Shifting
okay.
gears. So, we played Division when it first came out. We played
Yeah,
the beta.
Division 2.
Yeah, Division 2.
I saw the thing for
Just-
it. I haven't watched any.
They so I actually am going to get the game because it's free to me. A friend of mine's giving it to me, so I can go play with them. So I was like, cool.
Oh, there you go.
They sent out
it drop?
in like end of February. I believe.
I mean, I actually enjoy it when I played.
Well, we enjoyed the beta, and then the game came out,
no.
and then
We enjoyed the game for a week.
Okay,
Right.
right. And then 2 years later,
They updated it. And
they
made it
finally
really good.
fixed a bunch of shit. And hey, now it's fun again.
right.
But it's been 2 years. I've been playing other shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they
You want
they,
me back now?
right. So they sent out. I had not checked my email in a while, and randomly I
Glad
got
you
an
finally
email
grew
from them.
up, but,
says
you know.
we apologize. All right.
What
so
do
I
you apologize
clicked
for?
and read it. It says well, it basically said due to a error in our marketing team, we apologize for the last email being so hurt or hurtful or whatever it was.
What?
So I scroll back and I find the email. The email was want to see how the real government shutdown looks like, and it was promoting the game, and this was during the shutdown on like day 29, 30.
Wow.
And
And whoever designed that probably was sitting there thinking, "There's no way that they're going to let the government be shut down this long."
Well, this was like day 28, 29, whenever
Right.
this actually aired. And then the backlash that they got, not only on Twitter, on
that is-
emails. And so they had to send a formal apology.
That's a
Wow,
that's a backpedal
impressive.
moment.
That's,
that really is.
We were not trying to shed,
Not trying to make light. Of
right,
the
make light of the
situation.
situation. It was like,
But
holy
we
shit.
did.
Except we did.
But we did.
Except
But we
we
did.
totally did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our bad.
Somebody in marketing got fired.
Dude,
Well,
several somebody
that's
should
a learning experience. That's not necessarily a firing thing. That's sometimes you.
You may not think so, but I'm sure they
no,
did.
No, you keep those people because I guarantee you they don't do it again.
I'm pretty sure from now on there's a new check and balance system put in place.
Just saying, you're not going to do that again.
It's a feature.
No, motherfucker, that's a failure.
The pretense of
Damn.
the game is Washington, D.C. Same kind of concept.
Again,
Oh, it's in the same. Oh, it's DC instead of
New York. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which people are already putting out there, like, can we add mod packs? Because it's like, taking on Trump as a boss. And
Oh,
yeah, like people are begging for mod packs.
on one hand, I dig it. On the other, that's a minefield.
there is a game
that
called-
really is a minefield.
Called
You don't wanna
Mr.
go there.
President. You can get on stream.
No, I've got it.
Yeah,
I've got it.
we
I've
got
got
it
it.
for Jamil. And your whole job is Secret Service, Corey. I don't know if you've seen this, but the whole job is you're play Secret Service, and these random things happen. You have to run and jump and
Oh,
take
random,
the bullet.
They try to kill his
They
ass.
they try to the point even after you like level 2. Once you jump and take the bullet, you have to get up and go and push him out of the way. Otherwise, a giant taco falls on him. Like
That's hysterical. The game is hysterical, dude.
it's so funny.
But except it's not Trump. It's Rump.
Yeah, it's rump
Because
Totally different, blonde,
orange.
tanned man.
Yeah,
Blonde Dorito.
but for the first few times, I'd run up and I'd stop just
Cheeto.
to
Cheeto. Yeah. Fair, very fair.
Yeah,
I only got to, like,
there's
level-
a certain level of enjoyment in just watching him get crushed by the taco.
I got to like level 10 on this, and I couldn't go anywhere. It got really difficult after like level 10
Well, that's what
because
she
you
said.
you literally have a part where you're upstairs and you have like 10 seconds to not only, and it's all physics based. So if you jump, you kind of do the flail thing. You have to hop over these giant things of money just stacked in the staircase.
yeah, the-
run out.
Well, did you get to the alien thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the last level I got to.
yeah. I mean, I might have spoiled it there, but
No,
there's an alien thing.
there's like 100 levels to this thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they keep adding more levels to it.
Well, I mean, yeah, they got to, yeah. So I'm kind of annoyed. Did you see that?
Get the money grab.
What's the name of the stupid? Speaking of money grab, what's the Nordic developed the Scandinavian? They used to the Hearts of Iron and
I'm drawing a blank.
Hearts of Iron.
so they
On the question.
bought Prison Architect and
Oh.
a couple other
Yeah,
a
they,
couple other companies. Nice.
Phone's gone.
Gravity check. Gravity
Oh,
works.
Still functioning.
Show's over. We're done.
I'm just no, because it's hanging on the same cable that has
I bet
controlling
it
for the
is.
board. So, all right, we're gonna. slow
So yeah, Prison Architect was really cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then, and I did the Kickstarter thing and everything else. Introversion's
So
the
what'd they
company
do?
that got bought.
Introversion.
But yeah, Prison Architect was great fun. And then suddenly, out of the blue, that guys, we're done. We've released. We've done a couple of patches. All right, cool. And then like 8 months later,
I just got your message. I'm sorry, Corey.
Now it's good.
nice.
Now it's good.
And then like 8 months later, they came out with a multiplayer patch. What the fuck? Right? And then 3 weeks later, they get bought Paradox. They get bought by Paradox. Paradox.
Am I allowed to
What?
do that?
Huh?
Okay, I didn't know they had a
Fuck
good
up, Chad.
Just
shut
go.
the fuck up.
It's down all to the left. Send me a message. Do we pee on the show?
Technically, we pee on the soundboard, not the show. Wow.
It was just this random ... Do we pee on this show? Like, do we have a break?
We used to take breaks. That was in the old days.
Oh my god.
In the time before.
Oh, in the before.
So it came out with multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and then 3 weeks later, Paradox bought them. Surprise announcement, Paradox bought them. Well, today they sent out another update saying, "Hey guys, thanks for supporting us. We're going on to something else. Paradox has bought us. Paradox is where you get support now. Blah blah blah. The developer and producer, Introversion, which is all of like 4 people,
right.
is not moving. Is not going to be maintaining or controlling this IP any longer. Which means Introversion just flat out sold to Paradox, and those guys didn't go with didn't move with the company. Paradox bought the intellectual property, but not the company, not the people.
Okay.
For the same as Prison Architect and stuff like that.
Prison Architects Introversion, yeah.
Yeah.
But they did. There were another company that was also part of that merger, and I'm trying to remember the name of the company.
I played Prison Architect. I actually thought it was really
It's
cool. I
fun.
enjoyed it.
I actually am
But
in there.
it's been really buggy for like the last year for me. It
Really?
just, and the only reason I say that, if you haven't played the game, so basically it's
It's hilarious.
8-bit digital. It's
Well,
quite funny.
16 it's kind of 16-bit.
16-bit.
Yeah.
But you build this prison and then you
Cartoony.
build.
Our guest is cavorting in the hallway.
I guess. I was
with
just hoping. I was like,
our-
wait, we don't have wireless mics on 2 weeks. Did you find the PP, sir?
with our audience.
Forever.
I was no, but we so yeah, the games you can build these prisons, you can be super crafty with them and get
Well, and you can
executions
also control your discipline level, and,
right, and you do random searches.
recidivism versus.
It's very time consuming, and if you just
It can be.
need to veg, it's a great game to just veg away from all like everything around you and just focus on it, and you just build.
But you don't have to do an American Supermax. You can also they support, and it's moddable, but they support European style prisons with low recidivism rates and low violence and low chances of people getting bitchy and rioting.
You could also change
or
those
you can do the
settings.
Supermax
And then have like all mass murders and never leave, but you get paid by the number of people in the game, and that's how you play through the story.
And for a long time, there was a great trick where you could stick them in solitary.
Yeah.
Because they didn't eat in solitary, so they didn't take food. So you just stick everybody in solitary. You give them you make them violate, and the second they violate, they get thrown in solitary. Well, you jack up the sentencing time, so they're in solitary for 9 years or whatever.
Right.
So no matter how long they're actually sentenced to prison, they're in solitary after they're sentenced. They're still in solitary until your timer runs out. So if it's like 99 years or whatever, okay, well, they're still in solitary, and you're still getting paid.
Right.
But they don't eat anything.
But they added a bunch of new features.
fantastic.
Like
It's
we're talking about a game called Prison Architect.
Yeah, no.
And that now you can deliver food. They have showers, of course. Now they have counseling sessions that you can do. And
again, you can do
it just keeps
a nice
elaborate.
prison, or you can
but
do a
the mod
mean
that I
prison.
actually got that I really enjoyed in that game was the Star Wars
that's fun.
prison one, which is like all the cops were stormtroopers and all the
So is it a texture pack, or was there also scripting in it?
everything.
Wow,
It was a whole
okay,
pack.
cool.
You do, and it even builds on what looks like a space station.
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
what I meant. Yeah.
But
They
is
have
there a version where you can make Azkaban?
Well, I'm sure. If there isn't, again, it's
there
easily
is.
moddable.
They do have.
It's
they
Steam
have a Harry
Workshop support.
Yeah, so they do have a Harry Potter version, which is
Nice.
which all the guards are Dementors. And
Of course.
I mean, they don't. They just look like Dementors walking around. They don't really float. The one that was really cool
Well,
was the
that's lame.
Star Trek one, because when
There's no prisons in Star Trek.
no,
Just the
well,
brig.
The brigs. They're all little brigs. That's all they are. But it's really cool.
Well, and then there's the
when
the
you
desert planets that you.
they still
abandon
get
people
delivered by
on.
a damn bus. Okay.
God!
They still get delivered by a bus. I don't know why, but when they show up, they actually teleport to the cell.
Nice.
It goes, and then
That's pretty funny.
But they show up on a bus.
they show up on
Well,
a
yeah.
bus.
There's
It's
been
just
some
a
fun-
really, really fancy science fiction-y bus.
Magic school bus is what they show up on.
It's a retro bus.
All right, now I'm going to mod
There's
Magic
some
School
there's some
Bus
state
into the
funding
damn game.
issues that are going on. or Federation funding issues that are
Yes,
going
yes.
on.
Well, yeah, and you
allocating-
can also put a workshop in there and make
Yeah.
money. They can make license
like,
plates.
They do computer programming, license
Oh,
plate,
that's
laundry
new.
mat. Yeah, like, laundry mat's been added to it. There's
Oh, laundry service.
yeah, well, yeah.
Because that's how my first prison. That's how I lost half of my prisoners, was because there was a water leak and it
They
got into
drowned?
no, there was a water leak from the showers and I hadn't built drains yet because I didn't know they.
Existed.
I was not. I don't follow the fucking tutorial. I just go do my
It wasn't
thing.
tutorial. I
Right?
just went like drain.
Right. Well, I didn't look for. I didn't think about it. I was like, it's a shower. It's gonna have a drain. No, you got to put the drain in there. Okay, fine. I didn't put enough drains. Water leaked out of the shower room and into the laundry room, or maybe there was a water spill. But whatever. Apparently, electricity and water mean dead prisoners, and it was all of them.
he put 'em in
They were
solitary.
all doing laundry. No, they fucking fried.
Oh my god!
I fried like 30 prisoners because they kept running in there to get the dirty laundry off of the dead guy. And it's like, what? Will you stop? Go away. So eventually I figured out how to cut the power off because you have to
don't
put
go
the
in
switch
here-
in the circuit.
Yeah.
If you don't, right. Now, of course, I'm going broke because all my profits dying. And yeah, oh my God.
Don't go in here.
So, yeah, my
I'll
first
get 2
prison
more
crash
years.
was
I
because-
gotta get good behavior. If I don't go in there,
So yeah, my first prison crash was because of electrocution in the laundry room.
There's a mod in there. So when you start the game, it takes you through. It makes you build a basic cell, makes you build a basic cafeteria, basic features, basic execution room. They actually do the whole chair thing in this game. There's
Right.
a mod out there.
I don't believe in capital punishment, so I don't do that part. I just
Well, then
beat them.
this mod
Stick
is
them in solitary for 20 years.
for 99 years. There's a mod called Execution's Corner, and it's
Murder bag.
there's only 5 cells in the very beginning, and there's 5 execution rooms, and it's timed so that when one goes out, one comes in. So literally every day when I was looking at this mod, I let it sit there for 20 minutes. It was just like, you have killed, you have killed, you have killed, you have killed. Because it was just,
Wow, that
as soon as they would get one, the doc would come in, take it, drop it off at the front, ambulance would pull up. Right behind is a bus. Another one would get off and go
Oh,
in the
wow.
cell for 2 minutes, and then they would take him and they exit. I was just like, holy
that's
shit.
kind of that's kind of
this is fun for the whole family.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah, kind of.
I like the idea.
I mean, that's
that,
like Texas.
I like the idea of like the loneliest prison, where it's only one cell, one cafeteria, just one
Okay.
prison.
So I did that in the beginning. I just made a holding cell, and I turned them all down to 1. So just this guy sat in the holding cell because when they don't get fed, they don't get showers, they don't get nothing. He just sat there. He kept getting on the phone, kept using the restroom, kept going back to the seat. Everybody else is doing all their stuff. Garden's really nice.
Yeah, sure.
I've got workers over here working on paperwork. 1 prisoner.
Nice.
I went broke pretty quick, but you know.
I like the idea of it. I just like the idea of like the most inefficient prison, which is just 1 prisoner. It's like, who is that guy?
Well, I
wanna
mean,
know.
depending on how you build it, it could still be somewhat. I mean, you have to have a guard for every so many prisoners and stuff like that. And the guards are $1,000 a month or whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't think you could be profitable with 1 prisoner.
Toa. Thank you.
No. I'm reading the comments that didn't make it up there. Bats did. It said, "Lordy, how red Toa turned," because I was laughing so hard. Oh, he asked for permission. His directors have trained him. we know who the
Nice.
we
Thanks,
know who
Nikki.
we know who the bottom is in this relationship.
Yeah, I'm
What'd you say?
missing.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Nikki?
I'm not catching those. So, wow.
No, I was thanking her for his training.
Oh yeah.
Even without treats.
Oh, so apparently Paradox had bought White Wolf.
Yeah.
That's right, they did from CCP from
Uh-huh.
Eve. They bought Triumph Studios, which did Age of
who
Wonders.
does Eve Online?
CCP.
CCP does it.
They bought They threw 33% stake in Hard Suit Labs, which did Blacklight Retribution,
Cool.
which they just did a year ago.
Retribution.
Yeah, Blacklight's
You should go do voices.
really run and gun.
You should go do
You
voices
should do
for it.
video game. Yeah.
Voices. Yeah.
I'm on board. I've done enough.
Hairbrained. There it is. Hairbrained Studios, which was BattleTech, which was kickstarted. Got
Done
on
enough
Steam.
Smite
successful.
auditions to
There you
fill
go.
a whole game.
Smite, really?
No, I've never booked one, but I've done a bunch of auditions for him. I counted.
Are they
once.
local?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Oh, okay.
Okatron. So Smite, Smite Paladins, and
I did audition for them.
yeah, I've done too many for them. Too many auditions for them. Like so many. But one day,
What would you like me to say? Well, we want to hear what your charge. Charge! Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was so sick.
Attack the Gold Fury.
I had no voice. I don't remember. We were somewhere, and I was so hoarse. So hoarse.
Back to horses.
So a quest. Much Austrian.
Charge! Can I get some water?
Nay.
Next. God damn it.
Nay.
Nay.
I haven't done
You're hoofing it
any
tonight.
auditions in a while. I haven't done them in a while. I just don't.
I didn't know.
Everyone's
Time.
glued to the stream right now.
I didn't know you did. You did audition. I don't know. I thought about it, but
No,
because I have people say that it's
I mean,
a deep
it's-
voice.
Yeah,
and it's
deep.
like okay.
for
whatever.
you guys out there, if
I
you
don't
ever
try
wanted to
that
just
deep.
try to get into it, Behind the Voice Actor is a really good place to go get some indie stuff done. And so you go in there, and they have
Don't-
all these different projects.
People don't mind when you stand behind them.
Behind the Voice Actor is a website.
Oh, I was thinking, standing behind the voice actor. It's just like tailgating. You just sneak in behind them when they go into the audition.
It's dark web. It's real.
It's dark web. Anyways, behindthevoiceactor.com, there's a lot of indie jobs. Like people do audiobooks, they do
That's something else I thought about.
still captured stories with just images, and then you have
One S
conversations.
or two.
Behind the Voice Actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be .com. Anyways, and
There
you
it
go
is.
back.
Okay, cool.
So, and I've done 6 or 7 voiceovers for different stuff on there. And if anything for
bastard.
me, it's bucket list, right? Like I just wanted to be able to say, hey, I did this.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me to make money or to do as a career because I don't have as much talent as that guy does over there. But
Yeah, I can't do different voices. I can talk a lot.
well, so I got there was a guy at work.
Right.
Well, that's the funny thing is like most of the time you don't get booked for voices per se. Like that's like a real big misconception about the industry is that you have to be able to do like a bunch of different voices. Actually, that's very rare. Most of the time, what you're getting booked for is your voice. And,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
Oh,
if
there
they
you
need to change it ever so slightly, they will. Like a lot of the voice actors just
go. Well,
have-
that's what auto-tune's for.
yeah, or just like we need you to young him up. So you just push
Young
him
him
up,
up.
and yeah, like so like if they say like young him up, it's like
Sounds good.
it's just my voice just pushed up a little higher. So now it's just my speaking voice, but higher in my register. And they're like, oh, okay, like tone him down. Now it's just back down to my normal speaking voice, or like make him older. Now it's really down in my like your age range, just depending on how hard you're pushing out of your face. It's like that's really it. It's still my
okay.
normal
Shit.
speaking
Alright.
voice.
Stay a while.
So
we'll talk about Diablo.
Yeah, exactly.
Diablo has returned.
Diablo,
Diablo. Hey,
Liara.
here in Tristan.
Alrighty then.
Which is the maw of of Diablo gets annihilated by something every 3 years.
And now he's
That's
on,
an Oklahoma
And
thing.
now he's
Okay.
on mobile devices. That bastard.
I'm not happy about that. I have heard a lot of people are not happy with Diablo.
You mean the guy that went up there in
Mobile
red
Diablo.
shirt? Thank you, red shirt, for. Is this a late April Fool's
Fools
joke?
it? Yeah. Ouch. Threw
Yeah.
himself right on the
Oh,
sword.
and you just watch the stocks go. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it'll make money. It's
It
Blizzard.
will come back, but
Except
it's just.
didn't Activision and Blizzard part ways a few weeks ago?
Oh, that's new. I didn't hear that.
Well, who?
Or was it a rumor that they were going to? I don't know. I mean, before,
know
before we
Bungie-
call this news,
I know Bungie
Ding, ding,
parted
ding, 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 ding,
ways
ding,
with
ding.
Activision. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
Bungie did.
Bungie with Activision, I thought they were with Microsoft. They
Or-
left.
yeah, they parted ways. No, it was Activision. It was Activision, wasn't it? That they parted ways with. It was like
Yeah.
a big deal because it's like, yay, Halo's gonna finally get good again.
No, it's not.
Well, 303 started Halo. I mean, to be honest, Bat's the Halo
No.
master of this. Was it 303?
303 didn't start.
Who was
Halo.
it?
It was Bungie.
It was Bungie. Sorry,
343?
Bungie. And who picked up
343,
343?
yes.
Picked it up, right?
343 is Microsoft.
Yeah,
Right. They picked it up. So yeah, if we say Bat's the
And before it
Halo
was
master.
before it was that, it was when it was Bungie. Before it was Halo, it was Durandal, and it was a Mac only exclusive.
Yeah.
But I still played it.
Sorry,
What?
Bat was making a comment. He goes, "My drainage has been bad enough. My throat hurts." He goes, "Damn it, wrong window." He put it in the wrong chat.
No, he didn't. He's looking for some throat salve. Some deep throat salve.
Sam's 5-gallon jug.
What was it? Space Glide.
Space Club.
Space smooth.
Space
Smooth.
Space Smooth.
It sounds like some Team 4-star would do.
For those
Space smooth.
for those very special moments, you need Space Smooth.
No. The very special moments you pay for the brand name. These are for the cheap,
Space Sonic.
dirty, you want to forget about a moment. Spaceman.
343 Spawn from Bungie. Yes, thank you, Bat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that will. Yes.
Spaceman.
No, I actually haven't read that. The only thing I was like looking for right now, like I just saw comicbooks.com reporting Daredevil's Vincent D'Onofrio encourages fans to sign the hashtag Save Daredevil petition that he's put out.
Save Daredevil.
Yeah, because what the show
It's
is
Daredevil,
left
man. He can
Netflix,
save himself.
and they
He's a man
want,
without fear.
that is a great series. It really is, and it's sad that we may never have it again because Netflix.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Well, Netflix is all the Disney product, the Daredevil, Luke Cage. I mean,
because
it's a-
Disney's coming with their own streaming
Right.
service, all the stuff, the Marvel Netflix shows.
All the licenses are being canceled.
Well, the contracts with Netflix are being canceled, so all the shows are being canceled.
right.
And due
You
to the
look shocked like you
contracts-
didn't know this.
I didn't.
Oh shit!
Really? Maya Movin, he definitely doesn't watch the show.
Yeah. And due to the wording of the contracts, of the original 4 shows can't be started over on any other networks for 2 years.
Right.
Wow.
But, I mean, 2 years really isn't that long.
So, wow. Is Disney gonna? Is that?
Yes. No.
Disney's totally making their own streaming
Yes.
service. They already announced that it starts.
Yeah, but
It's like
is it gonna be
$30
good?
or something?
Is
right?
it going to be good? It's Disney. We will all love and hate it.
You
We
get
at the exact same time.
Yep.
you get to stream all the DVDs of Avengers and everything that you already bought. Now you can stream. Okay, I got them already.
It's the same thing you do with Netflix.
Right?
No, actually,
Well, I
If-
mean, I might.
we
accidentally
have Black Panther.
archive
It's on there.
Netflix.
We don't stream it. We watch it because we can get it in 4K. So we bought the Ultra 4K pack.
That sucks so much. I love
Yeah.
Netflix.
Daredevil is really good. I have not completed and I have not finished the second Punisher because I stopped watching it earlier to put on Watchmen while I was working so I could just listen to something that I had seen. Because otherwise I'd be sitting here. Because he did this. I mean, when the second season of Punisher came out, every couple of hours you get like you're gonna do that to Frank? You don't think he's gonna kill you?
Right.
It's like you didn't know what episode he's on, but you knew he was still
To
watching.
be fair, all of my responses were pretty damn generic. You fuck with Frank Castle, he's going to shoot you.
Yeah,
When eventually, the end result is Frank pulls a trigger and you end up getting
it
shot.
makes you want to watch it in sequence with him, just so it makes sense.
I want to ask you, did you enjoy the movies at all?
To some
I
extent.
did. But I like any shitty action flick.
I loved it. Like
I mean, Expendables is up here on my list
Oh,
of fun
yeah.
movies that I watch.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Shit. We've had Battleship. They recommend. I love Battleship. Great
Can't stand
flick.
it.
Great
Sorry.
flick.
Sorry.
The new Hunter Killer.
I
Liam
haven't
Neeson.
I have not seen it yet,
Well,
but I
it's
heard it
because
pretty.
it isn't out yet on video.
Well, I mean, I heard no.
Or it came out yesterday.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it came out
I
yesterday.
haven't
I've
seen
had
it,
it-
but
I've had it for
I
about
heard
4
good
days.
things. My Voodoo sent me a link, said, "Hey, think you'll like this because I liked Red
Oh,
October."
Walmart's shutting down Voodoo. By the way.
No, they shut down.
Or they're
Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
Yes, they
Ultraviolet.
sent out the
Yeah,
email.
My
Ultraviolet,
bad.
but you have until July.
Okay, whatever.
But Voodoo is
Nobody will remember until the week before.
Yeah.
Well, then you love shitty movies, so have you seen the trailer for Hobbs and what's his fuck?
Yes, Hobbs and Shaw
Hobbs and Shaw.
or Shaw and
The
Hobbs.
Fast and the
Yeah.
Furious spin-off.
Oh,
Spin-off. Fast and Furious 9 got postponed because The Rock wanted to do
Hobbs and Shaw.
and he's touting 3 movies in the series minimum. We'll see. I don't know. I'll watch it. I don't give a fuck.
It looks supremely cheesy.
Then I will definitely watch it.
I'm not gonna
probably
lie.
don't.
I haven't seen a Fast and the Furious since 3.
There's something wrong with you.
Like they got
Get
good
him off
after
the show.
3.
Get him off the show.
Seriously.
Every movie gets better. The acting gets better.
Honestly-
The plot gets better, and the
Honestly,
effects get
after
better.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It wasn't like
8.
that. I was avoiding
5's
them.
the
It was
best
just
bad
like
one.
the only reason I ended up watching the rest
Can't
of them
argue that.
is to get to the one where when the actor Brian had died in real life. I wanted to see what they had done,
It's
and
called
then
8.
8,
Fast
Okay.
and Furious 8.
and then
Fate of the Furious.
I've seen that meme.
Fate of
Fate
that.
of the Furious.
when they did the final drive off, like that was
pretty cool.
that was
I thought it
pretty
was
cool.
7.
I thought it was
Well, maybe
7.
it was
The
7.
drive off was 7.
Yeah, the drive off was 7.
Okay,
Because-
so-
you're right. Sorry.
Because 8
It's all right.
was well, we can't call Brian. Well, we know
Yeah,
you
because
can't.
Brian's retired
Yeah,
permanently.
but that
but they're apparently bringing Paul back. So
that look through
Or his
the
brother.
the window from the first one that
Yeah.
he did, and then they drove off like
Yeah.
that.
It's-
And then the
it's been
song
memed a
overlay,
lot.
like they
It's
did
been
a
memed a
really
lot.
really good job in like
You and your
letting
memes.
him out of the series and parting ways. It was very nicely done. I think the
letting
director
him
did a
out.
good
He
job.
died. They didn't let him out.
Of way
the
he-
only way
Oh
out
my
of Fast and
God.
the Furious is death.
Fuck you, mince words. Shit.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. You know what I was trying to say.
I know, I'm fucking with you. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just like I couldn't get the damn wording out before you. God damn it! Whack-a-mole is not a game.
Whack-a-mole.
whack-a-mole is in fact the game.
This is not the whack-a-mole game. Sorry.
I get it, autocorrect. I didn't spell it right.
Holy shit! Your nickname is autocorrect. Yes.
No.
It's the newest Transformer, autocorrect.
Get that red
Autocorrect.
line out of here. Get that red line out of here.
Add to dictionary.
I will do this at the end when I tell you.
I love autocorrect. I hate autocorrect.
Seriously.
What?
Just something Captain Marvel thing. Captain Marvel box office now tracking for a monstrous $160 million opening. It's tracking for that.
Whatever. It's a guess.
Yeah.
That's all I guess. What's the? There's another big action flick.
Wait, when's
coming
that
out.
come? When's that actually come out?
March.
March, yeah.
Liam Neeson, Cold Pursuit. Cold Pursuit looks fantastically cheesy. I've got to see it.
Okay,
The
there's-
Snowplow Driver, exacts
How do
revenge.
you feel about Kingsman?
What's
What's your opinions on it?
I like.
it's fun.
I like part one. Part two was okay.
I did not like part 2.
I
I felt like it was like somebody watched the film, found
Cashed in.
like thought
Like,
all
hey,
the,
how can we make more money?
well it wasn't even like a cash in. They just latched on to all the wrong things that made the first movie charming.
right.
Like I found the first movie to be refreshing and charming, and then the second movie was like somebody was like, "How do we take all the wrong things, up those to 11, and make a movie?"
Right.
And then it was like, and I watched
Okay,
it, and I was
I
like,
can see that. I mean, I disagree, but I can see it.
"Yeah, that's
I dig it. Yeah.
I really loved the first Kingsman.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot."
Yeah. No, I'm looking
the
at the Hobbs
very-
and
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. Like they're having a trailer that's airing during the first quarter of Super Bowl tomorrow. So there'll
Dude,
be a
they
trailer.
already, well, I guess they're
Oh
showing a
shit!
different
Super
trailer.
Bowl is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably not watch.
L.A. Rams versus
I know
Patriots.
the
so-
Patriots. I actually know, even though I don't watch football.
yeah.
Everybody else does Whamageddon for Christmas. I do Super Bowl avoidance.
We do WrestleMania. That's our
I
get
think we're
together.
talking about different things.
Yeah, yeah.
Whamageddon, I'm avoiding. You avoid hearing wham.
Oh,
Right,
I
right.
didn't
Yeah.
hear that. Sorry.
Last
Right.
Christmas.
Whereas Super Bowl, I avoid hearing about football.
Ah,
Right.
I sports well. I do the goal
No
touches.
okay, I get it. Again, it's just
he
like
shot
with
a
cars.
touchdown.
Shot.
So like with cars, I don't dog people for their interest in whatever sport. But if it's not hockey, then you're wrong. So,
I love
and
hockey.
and why do I like hockey? Because it's the only sport where you get to sit in an air-conditioned room and watch.
Why do they always call that?
It's ritualized combat on ice too. I mean, they're walking around with clubs, standing on knives, and slapping a hard rubber object at each other. And the point is to get in front of it, to keep it from going there. Okay, all right, I'm in. This sounds bad. This sounds like a really bad idea. And the amateur leagues are called the beer leagues. Hey, you know what? I think I know where hockey came from.
Oh yeah.
drunk people.
Drunk Canadians.
There was a
Well,
bit
no,
about
my-
that too.
So my
Which
grandfather,
is why there's a penalty for fighting.
my
They're drunk
grandfather
Canadians.
played for the Canadian national team.
Which
Ha.
which Canadian national team? Go ahead.
No,
He played for the Canadian national team.
Like the Olympic team.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
okay.
to go back and find exactly what team he played for up in Montreal. But he played for years, but he played goalie, and he was like, "Oh yeah, face mask. That was
The
the
face
thing."
mask came out in like '84.
Yeah, he was like, "That's the thing we didn't worry about." He goes, "If you wanted to not get hit in the face, you put the glove in front of it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Dude,
You don't want to get in the face, don't put your face there.
I mean, this is how tough it's looking. About 2 months ago, 70, 80 years old, fell straight. Should have cracked his skull wide open. He's black and blue and
I mean, he
bruised.
probably did.
Got up and went, ow.
Well, what are you supposed to do in the middle of a game?
No, like he has the thickest skull. And this isn't the game. This is
Oh.
when he fell at home.
sorry.
He had a stroke
Oh.
and went head first.
Okay,
But he walked it
might,
off.
That might. I was just say the stroke might have had something to do with his perception of pain. Or
I'm
lack
just
of.
going to take
I'm
it.
just
He's
saying.
a tough old bastard.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you watching? Oh, you're watching the church? Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson made that fun.
Yeah, the church standing.
The
thing
church
thing was
fight,
Pretty,
yeah.
pretty unreal.
I just say when they call it a one take. It's not a one take.
No, it's not. There's definitely.
what are we
there's
talking about?
definitely
The
at least
Kingsman, the church
least
fight
4
scene,
slices.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Freebird fight.
Did they say
Yeah.
that was a one take?
Everyone calls it a one
It's
take.
not a
on
one
Oh,
take.
no,
at
there's
least
no
4
way.
edits.
Oh, more
4
than
cuts.
4.
Yeah.
More than 4.
Well, I'm just saying, there's at least 4 cuts. There's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's
like
it's not a
20.
one take. Why
There's
does anybody
one.
call that one take? There's
Because the camera
There's
just kept
one.
moving.
No, because people don't
Jesus.
understand with like CGI edits and cuts.
Yeah.
Like they miss those completely.
They missed the crossfades, the
Yeah,
blends.
they miss the crossfades. They miss the complete camera stop and reset for a different shot. It's,
And then the blur when it
Right.
transitions. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, anytime you see the camera completely obscured by an
body?
actor's clothing, right, a body, there's a cut.
Yeah.
And guaranteed there's a cut.
oh yeah.
Like that was a cut.
oh,
I mean, if anything,
I
so
counted
that people
them, I'd
can
be tired.
breathe. Sit down, relax,
Like,
go
to be
hit the
fair-
food cart.
yeah.
Well, there's just no way with sound and with
Well, no,
with
no,
all
That's
the
what
movie-
Foley's for, man.
For stuff like this, you can't do.
there's still a sound guy. No matter if they're Foley or even if they're going to ADR, there's always a sound guy. There's always.
Yeah.
And anytime that you're doing those kinds of 360 shots,
You got to
they're moving with you.
Well, yeah, but see, that's why I love the stuff from Daredevil. Like Daredevil always has.
There
that
is
one
one.
take.
Yeah, there is that one. There is
Every
one
season,
shot.
every season they have that huge one take fight that always happens.
And it wasn't the hallway fight the first one.
The
But
hallway
they're,
fight.
but they're
and I think that
they're
set the
a-
precedent. I
they're
think at
a
that point
one.
they were like,
If you
well,
watch
now
the
we got to do it.
Yeah.
if you watch the behind the scenes of them, they're wonderful because it's just a dance
Yeah.
with the production team.
Yeah.
What was the one with the girl in the apartment as she aged and stuff like that? There was that one take they aired.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, did you see them like
Where they
replace all the
replace
stuff?
the furniture.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the camera's swinging. You
It's-
got the
oh, yeah,
whole prop
yeah.
master coming in and ripping
And it's
everything.
just a whole
Yeah.
team
Oh my
perfectly
god!
in
It was
unison.
awesome, but you
The
know there's still a
choreography on
sound
that
guy.
is
There's
nuts.
still a sound guy
Yeah.
walking behind
yeah.
him.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's
No, that was beautiful.
I like it because that one girl hides at her
craft.
table, and then, like last second, it pops back
Yep.
out, grabs the table, runs away. I'm like,
Yep.
there you go.
and you
and
never
that
saw
stuff's
her.
hard. We did a one take outside once of a project I was shooting, and there's so many things that can go wrong. Like a boom shadow can get into a shot,
Yeah.
and that redoes
That's
the
what
take.
CGI is for.
And yeah, but there's only some of it that you even want to have to deal with.
Well, and what is it? Every second of CGI is 10,000 or something like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
it's
It's
expensive.
less than it used to be, but still, yeah,
It's super expensive, and it's just a lot of render time. It's a lot of effort on the back end.
yeah.
And so it's easier. It's actually easier to just reset the shot and try again
And do another take.
and do another take without the shadow getting in there. It's cheaper because resetting a SD card is or whatever
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
is
Super
Yeah.
cheap.
It's super cheap.
Was this your Fallout series? that you
No,
did?
no, it was a. So we were shooting this.
He did a Fallout series.
No, I'm laughing because y'all mentioned the hallway fight scene. I have to watch it.
Yeah, now he's got to watch it instead of doing the show.
I'm doing the show. He's talking about his
giving you
stuff.
shit.
I'm not
Go
interrupting.
ahead. Anyways,
No, is this like it was some
Reset, yeah.
educational film? I was playing a 16-year-old as I think I was at 25 at the time. It was really weird because
So 90210.
I was 25 and the actual
Wow.
lead actor was like 17, 18, and I have to beat him up. Like,
Oh,
like
that's easy.
They didn't bring crash pads, so he kept taking these falls straight.
Dude,
by the
Jesus.
end
was
of
this a pro? Was this a SAG production?
no, it was not SAG. It was not
yeah,
union.
I was to say.
Yeah, if it was union, that would have been
Okay, so was it a Robert Rodriguez production?
no. It was not. But
I think he's union, but not SAG.
No, he's not.
He's not union?
No.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know he's not SAG.
No, he's actively anti-union. It's the only thing I don't like about him.
Yeah, fair.
Because
But anyways, by the
Kept
end of
taking these
solidarity.
falls.
yeah, so we did about
crash pads,
It
yeah.
took about 20 to 30 takes to get this right because it was
Must
a
have
full
been black
three.
and blue.
His back was just cut up.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was bleeding because it was just road burn, road rash all down his back.
And he just
Jesus
kept doing
Christ.
He just kept doing, it, taking it like a champ. They asked him, he's like, "Do you want to stop?" And he's like, "No, let's do it."
Well, yeah, because he's thinking,
If
one
I
day,
stop, they're gonna fire.
one day somebody's going to notice.
Yeah,
I'll be a big star, and it's not going to. Yeah,
the kid was a pro.
it's all about
it. 10
luck.
years later, my back hurts.
Yeah, no
lot.
shit, dude.
Kid was a pro. That's kind of why I was being vague about the details about it because we were all taking hits. We all were all in together, and I still think that they're a wonderful company to work with. It's not like they meant to do that.
No.
And they asked him, "It's like we can do this later." And like they gave him every opportunity. He was the one that chose. He's like, "I'm going to do this."
What was dedication?
Yeah, he was dedicated to the project. But he was taking it on the chin, like the kid was a champ, just taking it on the chin every single time. And we kept being a 360 one-shot wonder. It just took a lot of like choreographing, not only on our part but on their part.
Yeah.
like the
Right.
sound and the. But it was awesome. But the end result looked beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot.
Oh, there you go.
I still like I was like mad respect to that kid. Actually, this week I had mad respect. We were shooting, and it was that day that was super cold, and there is a pool shot, a pool scene, and they were swimming.
Nah, bitches, we shooting this another day.
That doesn't sound smart. That does.
This is that. Oh, you.
Yeah, I can't.
That's
Yeah,
70.
that thing.
Well, you. I mean, you posted. It said I look like somebody.
They said I could. They said I could post pictures, but the thing I couldn't do, like, because they said they've gotten looser about their policies about posting. Because normally, I wouldn't be able to post till the project came out.
Right.
But they were like, "Yeah, you can post pictures. You just can't."
Well,
tag
yeah,
us."
you got to build hype.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're seeing is now. It's
And
like,
they had to swim in a cold ass pool.
Yeah. No,
That's
one of the
hype.
scenes was there was a lead girl and the lead actor that played the
Rolls.
the role. Both were in the pool swimming, and I
Oh,
was
tap
like, those
dancing all the way
guys
around
are
this, man.
champs.
And they
Those
are
guys
sick as
champs.
dogs now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm talking. They
Didn't die.
replaced him.
At the
Did
end
they
of the,
die?
in the film, in memory of.
Yeah, memorial.
That's not funny, guys.
They were awesome though. They were champs.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's fine.
Say I'm sorry.
And the crew was like on it as soon as they were in between takes. There was immediate like blankets and heaters, and it's like a whole crew of those people just
There
like
you go.
heat.
So what do you? So I'm reading here
Shit,
right now.
dead
Like,
heat.
so the live action Aladdin that's coming out. They got Will Smith playing as the genie.
Yes.
Appearance teased by producers. I have a clip of it now of him playing.
Teased.
What do you feel about the Will Smith stepping into
That is
an iconic role like that?
Somebody had to.
Yeah, well, I know that, but
okay. I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I really feel like I've been kind of underwhelmed by a lot of stuff that Will Smith's been doing recently. As far
Only
as
recently.
yeah, like I'd say last 5 years. Like last 5 years, Will Smith has kind of been like, it feels like
Well,
he's
he's putting a lot of his time and money into his own project.
yeah, but it feels like he's phoning it in, and
I'm agreeing with you.
and so that's an extremely beloved character and an extremely large shoes to fill with someone who is been phoning it in for like the last 5 years. I don't really know how wise of a choice that was. Like
I guess we'll
well,
find
maybe he
out.
won't phone this one in.
maybe he won't. I mean,
he'll-
if Will Smith,
I mean, this could be Wild Wild West 3.
yeah, I mean that version.
Was there
of
a
Will Smith-
2?
That's the joke.
Oh, I was like, I didn't. Was there
That version of Will Smith would be nice if that's the. I just
Well, and
I-
Men in Black.
yeah.
The first two.
The first two, like that would be a nice version of Will Smith, but it's not even, and that's kind of the thing that you're going to run into is that it's still not going to be Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the purpose of it. It's like, how far away can we get from Robin Williams?
I mean, you had to do it eventually.
No, because they didn't pick up, Louis C.K. or something like that.
I feel like that'd still be, you're picking up a comedian who, that's sort of in the same vein, and
Well, Will Smith
Yeah,
is a
except Louis
comedian.
C.K. is trash.
Yeah, and Will Smith. Is
Like the problem is you're
comedian.
trying to have someone come into a role that Robin Williams made uber famous.
and immortalized.
He owned that role.
Yeah.
Literally owned
The problem
that
Owned it,
role.
yeah.
no one can ever come close to Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Right.
So the point is, you don't try to.
Yeah.
You just
You
make
make it your own.
Yeah.
you make
You
it your
distance
own.
yourself.
No, it's not even distant. You just make it your own. Like it's the tale of Aladdin. You don't have to try to be a polar opposite. You just make something else. Mm-hmm. Like it's,
But
Well,
that's
it's
what
like
I-
all the other reboots, like Conan. You know, you make it your own. You don't try to be Schwarzenegger's Conan. You,
Which I
you
agree
do
with.
your own thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with, but I think that there were better choices to be had. I feel like there was
I think if you're going with a cast that is going to be at least U.S. known, not well known, you have to have the A-list star to play Aladdin. And Louis C.K., aside from being a horrible fucking human being, he's not funny and he's not A-list.
right?
yeah.
Like
No, that's
I wouldn't.
yeah.
I'm not saying I would have chosen Louis C.K.
It's
That
just,
is
it's just,
not
it's
what
just
I'm
the name
saying.
you brought up. It's just I can't think of anyone else who is going to be that much of a name draw, even if he has something in the last 5 years, which I can't argue. After Earth sucked ass. He was the best part of fucking Suicide Squad, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Like even him phoning it in.
Well, as I say, Suicide Squad was all green screen, anyways. He didn't really.
But again,
Yeah.
What about Chris Pratt? He is mega.
As if he's not busy.
yeah. And there's the busy factor, and then there's can he?
And his humor on Parks and Rec is seriously problematic.
Yeah. The problem is that
So-
he's not remotely a comedian who has held a show. And Will Smith, for all of his half-assing for half the roles he does, is still a decent actor
Yeah.
and did a comedy show for 6 fucking years
Yeah.
and can still he's still a box office draw, even though After Earth sucked ass, Collateral Beauty sucked ass,
Okay.
Bright was decent.
I love.
What about
Bright.
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd, I don't know if I can't.
We've
see Paul
seen him
Rudd.
play an array of comedy styles.
Yeah, but you've seen him play Paul Rudd doing Paul Rudd. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there's always Nick Cage.
Ant-Man is Paul Rudd with an Ant-Man suit.
Yeah, but that's good. That's I mean,
But I don't want to see like Ant-Man the genie.
yeah, but we're gonna get. That's what
I'm not saying Will Smith is the best option. I'm just saying like it's really hard to find someone who is on Will Smith's level of this is going to draw people in the theaters. Because whether you love it or hate it, Will Smith is going to have your ass watching this movie.
Yeah.
To either shit on it or be like, well, I was pleasantly surprised.
Right.
Either way, you're going to have your ass in that seat to see the movie. It's hard to find someone else who's on that level who is guaranteed to put asses in seats. Mm-hmm. And that's the main selling
And again,
point.
ultimately, they're in it to make money. So
Like,
that's what they're going to do.
it's not about loving the original project and paying homage to it. It's about asses in seats and selling tickets.
And with the news coming out about the live action Dumbo, tracking.
That's
so
another
that,
one.
like,
What the fuck?
It looks like it's gonna bomb. Like
Everybody it hadn't even dropped. And
it hasn't even dropped. I mean, they're only tracking like $45 million
Well, when does it come out? I don't even know when it comes out.
in the summertime, I believe.
Like May, isn't it?
Or is it that soon?
Release date's March 29th.
March.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, you're dead.
You know what?
You're
I've
dead.
got-
Boom.
I've got
Well,
it.
I mean, you're coming out in a very bad time frame.
Elephant
but
gun.
they're only tracking like $45 million for this huge undertaking to
Well, yeah,
design.
but it's also not a story that's super popular. Like,
yeah,
it's,
I didn't even like Dumbo as a kid.
Like it's
Right.
it's an old school tale. It's old school Disney, and it's a live action. But again, it's not the most popular Disney story ever made.
No.
And I'm sorry, maybe it's just me. I'm so fucking tired of Tim Burton shit. Like,
Well, okay.
Give
and
me a
Tim
live
Bur-
action-
Tim
give me a
Burton
live
doing
action
Dumbo
Bambi
makes
will be
sense,
good.
but I don't know.
Do what?
I did figure out. I know who I would cast. That would be a 10 times better genie than anybody you could think of, and it would be
Right,
perfect.
but you're not on the list.
No, it's not me. It's not me. Tommy Wiseau. I would love that. I would pay
my ass would
so
be burning shit down.
I would pay triple price tickets to see Tommy Wiseau in a as the genie in everything else is like Disney budget, and the genie is like, oh, so you get 3 wishes. I would love it. I would love it.
Yikes.
It's like putting Park in there.
Yes, I would love it.
God, that's horrible.
Rub me 3 times, you get wishes.
Also, for Dumbo coming out in less than 2 months,
Oh, hi,
there's
Al.
been jack and squat for
No,
like,
I've seen some stuff, but I unfortunately are pretty much always tuned to
I was gonna say,
children's programming.
I was gonna say that's like, if you're stuck on children's programming, then that'll do it.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah. So from what I'm reading here, they're tracking to make 45 to 65 million, which is well under what their
Well,
budget was for, unfortunately, for the
no
film.
shit.
But they're also in a very bad time frame.
Well, yeah, you're coming out like 3 weeks after fucking Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You're Disney. You need to learn to space this shit out if you're gonna have Marvel and
It
all
sounds
the
like
other
they're
fucking
shooting
projects.
it down.
It sounds like they're really just trying to kill it. Like Captain Marvel comes out the 9th, or fuck it, the 8th of March. Like, so it's like barely a month to Captain Marvel, and then 2 weeks after that,
Yeah.
you've got Dumbo. It's gonna get fucking murdered.
Yeah.
Like,
And then how far away is in game?
Well, that sounds like a direct-to-video
May.
release,
April.
if anything does.
April.
April.
So yeah, it's like in
you're
between.
in a horrible spot.
You're in
No,
a big hole.
it'll be out on video before it gets to the dollar theaters.
No, that usually happens.
Same.
That's such a weird choice to make as a company to itself.
The
Yeah.
problem I have with Disney is one of the many problems I have with Disney is that between the Marvel shit, which dominates whenever they come out, like whenever a Marvel movie comes out, you're pretty much guaranteed between 2 to 5 weeks of fuck everything else.
Yep.
Like even for the less high quality shit, like I love Ant-Man and Wasp, but I did not expect that to be like box office tops for 2 weeks.
Right.
Because it's Ant-Man and Wasp. It's funny. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I don't expect it to like break any records. However, it's gonna hold the top. It's gonna be top 5 for 2 months. It's fucking everyone else over.
Yeah.
And if you're Disney, you have to account for that and either stop making that many Marvel movies or learn to space your shit the fuck out.
Right.
Yep.
Because if you're putting out 2 movies from your fucking studio that you're expecting to be blockbusters, and they're damn near competing, like Captain Marvel is going to own March.
Yeah, because it's gonna roll right into Endgame, which everybody's been waiting for.
Like it's gonna have the end bumpers for Endgame.
Right.
It's gonna have probably an appearance of Thanos at the end of her coming back for the fight.
Right.
Like it's gonna hype everyone the fuck up for Endgame.
Right. Just like Ant-Man and Wasp did when they did the snap, and then I think was it you? No, Code sent me this little video. It's got all 4. It's got 4 different videos simultaneously going based on timing of the snap, including Ant-Man and Wasp. And the timing of it and the wording is just it hyped me up. I was like, oh yeah, you know.
It's hard to argue that Disney figured out the Disney Marvel plan is insane. They're going to run over whatever the fuck comes up unless they just screw this over in the ear. They have bankrolled forever.
Thank you, Kevin Feige.
Yeah, if Kevin Feige bails, Marvel is fucked, and Disney is generally half-ass fucked. Like,
train somebody quick because I know you're not gonna live forever.
I'm sure they've got someone who is following him who has ideas and who is listening to Kevin Feige and learning from him, and that's fine. But you have to understand that they have owned the fucking box office for 10 years, 11 years now.
11.
Like, first it was 1 movie, and then it was 2 a year, now it's 3 a year, and I guarantee you pretty soon it'll be 4 a year. Because they can.
And now they have more resources. Because, I mean, just the amount of resources they had before, but Guardians of the Galaxy was never considered.
They had all the resources.
They did.
Like, it's Disney.
But Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't ever.
It's never been a popular comic book.
Until
like,
that movie.
No, I had heard of it briefly.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about, like, whenever I'm going on tangents about, like, how superior Disney is about writing and their marketing, like, they're just the strategies between the two, is that they took Guardians of the Galaxy, which nobody gave
talking tree and a fucking talking tree and a talking raccoon,
and made it one of their flagships. Like, it is,
and it made it a fucking box office fucking smash.
Yeah,
like it outgrossed the Captain America sequel that is arguably the best Marvel movie made. It's Winter Soldier.
I know. You would say that's number one.
I would say
that's your number one.
For my personally, I'm a Captain America fan and I love spy movies. So that combination was some of my favorite shit, and it's also really reminiscent of some of my favorite Captain America writings from the comics. So it's one of my favorites. I understand that it's not everyone's top, and I don't care.
No, you're the second person I've heard argue that Winter Soldier is the number one Marvel movie ever made.
For me, yes. For me, it's the one. I've loved that movie.
It is I will agree. It is the superior Captain America movie. It is the best.
Yeah. I mean, that's not even a hard argument.
Yeah, it's not. And I would even say
You want to hug the shield again?
Oh no.
And in most of the debates that I've had about
you're not leaving with this.
about the rankings,
shield, bitch. You shouldn't have handed it to me.
Just give it.
I told you I was gonna take it, bitch.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gone now.
No, when we first got this, he hugged the shield on the show because
it's a solid
who'd
fucking.
you get it from? Oh my gosh!
Can
you take that from me? I'm gonna drop it.
It's legit.
It's
75th edition.
I'm pretty sure I can pop around at that thing, and
Well,
who'd you
I
get it
wouldn't.
I'm not going to.
It looks aluminum.
Is
Probably
that a Shield Labs make?
No, that's straight from fucking Marvel.
Okay.
75th anniversary of Captain
It's right
America.
behind me. The box is behind
A
me.
buddy of mine and his wife
The box that says
have a company called Shields or something like that, and they
Shield
make
Labs or something.
Yeah, Shield
That's
Labs.
what you said. Yeah.
Shield Labs, and they make Captain America shields of all different types.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
There's a guy that you see took the magnet on his arm and he like reinforced it. This is the same type of shield he used. It reinforced to make it throw with the magnet release and.
But anyways, I agree with you that I think Winter Soldier is
got
probably
some weight on
for me is top 5.
Yeah, easily top 5.
I would say their greatest accomplishment is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, that's a different category. Greatest accomplishment is me giving a fuck about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which they made a bunch of people do.
Yeah.
Which
and
I think is.
And I love comic books, and even I was like, really, Guardians of the fucking Galaxy?
It drugged me into Marvel for a while.
And,
Yeah.
and
the
then,
comics.
Yeah, and then the trailer hit, and I'm like, oh, never mind, they got this.
It's because they did Rocket Raccoon actually right.
Well, they Rocket
There ain't
Raccoon.
nobody made me.
They
but
made you
me.
care
Oh,
about
that's another
an
voice. That's another voice actor thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they
had a lot
they did
to do with
Rocket
Bradley
Great
Cooper.
And
Yeah,
Groot,
really
and the
did.
CGI on them is amazing.
Right.
Well, it's also they made you care about 4 characters, an ensemble cast
That you've never heard of.
that you've never heard of. the story is written enough that it's charming, but at the same time, you end up caring about each one of their wants and needs.
Yeah. And then in the end, when the We Are Groot, like,
Yeah.
oh, damn.
Yeah, and
like
they
Jessica, my wife breaks down every single
They
time we see that.
kill it. They kill it. And that's even in and of itself an accomplishment, is that you have a character who can only say one line, and you made us cry with one line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
Disney
people don't give Vin Diesel enough credit for that.
No,
No.
They really should, because he worked the fuck out of 3 fucking words.
And he also
Yes.
did it in every other language.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
and
the-
you just,
Yeah.
that's Disney taking their writing dick and just.
I'm not sure
more
you
James
can
Gunn.
say dick.
Yeah,
That's more
and-
James Gunn doing that one.
But
Like,
it's-
James
yeah.
Gunn is nuts.
It's one of those things that, like, and Disney does that all the time. So for me, their number one is always going to be.
The number one accomplishment is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the
because
Galaxy.
You made me give a fuck about 4 or 5 characters I would not have given any shits about.
Yeah, number two for me is Iron Man, the first the original
Well,
Iron
I mean,
Man.
it started it all.
It started it all. It was ambitious. It revitalized the comic book industry as far as like the movies.
The movies, definitely.
Because
Yeah.
movies were getting really campy, and it was
Word.
going
they,
back.
They stayed campy for
was-
a while. Like the
yeah.
only non-campy
And I like
shit
camp,
was Dark
but
Knight.
yeah,
Yeah.
people
It
don't.
was the entire like Nolan
Dark
series.
Knight, yeah, Nolan, Christopher. Oh, Jesus.
Christopher Nolan shit was so dark. It was
well,
depressing.
Yeah.
I think he broke ground on that.
Yeah.
I do. I think
Well, because
I think
Batman
the Dark Knight trilogy-
had gotten almost a parody of himself
Oh,
in the movies.
so much a parody.
almost.
Like Batman and Robin.
I'm
was
being nice.
Okay,
We don't be
pretty
nice
much the
here.
last 3 Batman movies before the reboot were trash.
Yeah.
From
Pretty
Returns.
much. Yep.
Like pretty much the first one, I'll give it. I don't personally like it anymore because I'm not 11 anymore, and watching it now hurts my feelings because I'm like, you didn't understand Batman the fuck at all.
No.
It's still no. It's still a pretty movie. It's still a beautiful movie. I still love Michael Keaton in it. It's still one of my favorite superhero movies. But if I'm coming as a comic book fan, I have to trash the fuck out of that.
But it was
'Cause
one of those
Okay.
things that, like, and a lot of people kind of like approach it from this aspect. That's like, up until Iron Man, comic book movies were not treated as a serious genre of its own.
I don't even think Iron Man made them treat it seriously. I think
It started.
I think Nolan and Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises were the beginning of holy shit, we can actually tell really good stories. And in that frame, you had Begins, you had Dark Knight. Same year you had Iron Man. The next year you had Incredible Hulk, which was meh, but it was still decent and carried a story.
I mean,
and then
I still think that Incredible Hulk was like a remnant of the
yeah,
previous generation.
it was pretty much the end of that.
It's the
generation
bridge.
for-
They didn't
yeah.
want to. They don't because nobody wants to admit that it's part of the new.
So let's
MCU,
look at
But
2008 in general. You had The Dark Knight, The Punisher, Warzone.
Punisher Warzone.
It's still very.
I love
90s.
the director
I
because
love
she's,
Warzone. Yeah.
I
the
love
director's
Warzone, but it's still
amazing.
very 90s. It has
Well,
a very
it's
90s
okay.
feel.
It's 90s movie style, but it's literally almost verbatim from the fucking comic books.
No, I know. What I'm talking about is like, I'm not talking about like
But,
it's
yeah,
90s. I'm talking about it's very 90s comic book film feel.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, the way
Like,
the color grading works,
yeah.
the tone, the way the tone is approached.
I think honestly, if you look at Punisher Warzone completely as the end of that era, you'd be accurate because it is the last one. It is actually not a bad movie.
no, it's not. I loved it.
It's over the
I enjoyed
top.
it.
It's crazy. The fight scenes are fucking insane. And Ray Stevenson was amazing as a Punisher. He did a really great job, and it was a fun movie. And then, but you realize once you start seeing all the other comic book movies that came out that year and the year after,
Right.
like holy shit, we've been missing out on actually having really good stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
taking the genre seriously.
let's
yeah.
take a look. So, like I was saying, in 2008, let's look at like all the different movies that came out, and then how people gravitated. So you had The Dark Knight that came out, which brought
Which Dark Knight just
Heath
fucked
Ledger's
everybody
Joker
up.
in, which I just
Yep.
rewatched the other day just because I missed that Joker. I loved it. You know,
He was a Joker that was scary.
he was a Joker that
Man.
you look at Heath Ledger from like other
I didn't
movies.
totally didn't recognize. Yeah, I love Knight's Tale.
Yeah,
like I
me
would
too.
watch
Same
it
here.
all the time, and
But-
did not recognize.
But
him
look
at
at
all.
look at Knight's Tale, and it's like that's a Joker. Like
No,
Right?
no, no,
No,
no. That's,
no, you
that's
don't.
Heath Ledger.
Right.
the method acting that he went through and the tongue that he does that he added to it,
All
which
of it.
was
Yeah.
just amazing.
Like
you had
all of his little nervous
the-
takes
the-
were amazing.
right. The magic trick act, which
Yeah.
we all crackled when that happened.
Wait. Did we go see that one together?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm sitting in the theater and he goes, "Let me show you a magic trick." And he pulls up the pencil and he starts to spin it. And the guy walks up trying to fuck with him. He stands up, grabs him by the head, and slams him on the fucking pencil. And I went, "Oh, he's the Joker." Like that right there. That's some Joker shit.
And then he just sits down very casually.
Like
He's
it's just a pure,
it disappeared.
Complete
Like, it's just-
disrespect for human. Yeah.
yeah. It's just that's the Joker. He didn't say he didn't threaten you. He literally said, "I'm gonna show you a magic trick." He's there. He's trying to fucking frighten you all and make you understand what the situation is. And you advanced on him. He just wanted you to know, I'll fuck you up.
And the line that Batman says in the movie, which is, when you think you understand what the Joker's going to do, you don't.
Yeah,
Like,
that's that.
and then, of course, your introduction to Two-Face, which was well played as well.
No. Nolan showed you could do a serious comic book movie, and holy shit, it was gonna fuck with you.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was one of those things that like I felt like, and I agree, they're 100 like 100% fantastic movies, but it was almost like an overcorrection.
It was.
It was like, okay,
Because
they've been campy.
It almost went a little too far. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like spin the other way, especially
Actually,
with
for me, Bane was over.
Yeah,
It was
especially with the last
Dark
one.
Knight Rises was the overcorrection.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Right.
so the Nolan series was like, okay, no one's been taking the comic book genre seriously. I'm gonna make it the most serious it can be, and I have some major issues with DC as a company.
Well, my issue with DC as a company are definitely with Warner Brothers from making their fucking movies, is that they saw the Dark Knight series, they saw all those 3 movies, and what they should have seen was really good storytelling, really good character development, really emotional ties, and really just impressive characters. What they took from it was, let's make everything fucking dark and gritty.
Yes,
Fuck a story.
even if it does not apply.
Even if we take the happiest, most all-American, I'm gonna save the fucking world hero like fucking Superman,
Anti-Batman,
and you make him the darkest guy. You make him darker than Batman. Really?
that's kind of my
You
problem
even
with
add dark tones to his suit.
Suit.
Like, really?
Oh, did you ever see the color corrected version?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, beautiful.
But I chalk that up to DC seeing what Marvel was doing and trying to decide we need to have our own version.
No, you know what? Okay,
But it has to be completely different from Marvel.
I always saw DC as kind of like the hipster nonconformist kid that just wants to argue for no discernible reason, and is like, I'm
Snyder.
good.
You
Yeah,
don't have to say hipster. You can just stick with nonconformist, because that's every generation.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that guy that's going to argue just because he wants to argue, Chad.
yeah, and he just wants to argue, and that's DC, but as a company, because it's like, like for instance, like that small shtick for a while where they're like, we're not going to have comedy in our movies because that's what Marvel's doing, and it's like,
the problem is that DC does everything they do now to not be Marvel.
Well,
Yeah.
Which the problem is,
and we talked about this 2 weeks ago. They sent a report that they're not going to do the
interconnected universe.
Not
Right.
interconnect. They're not going to go with the Marvel strategy because it's not long lived.
And I'm sitting here
They
going,
put that they made
they've
that
had
public.
the longest going every fucking year series, and every year they make more fucking money. But it's not a long term
that's like
plan.
getting beat up by somebody and then being like, I'm not going to learn how to fight like him because he keeps beating me up.
Because this is not gonna last.
So
Yeah,
it got elaborated.
No, you keep getting beat
That-
up.
no, but that comment got elaborated later. The
what?
reason why it was said is because we did Batman back in the 90s. We have been doing this longer than them.
But you
That
haven't
was-
been-
Yeah, but you haven't been doing it
Howard the
right
Duck.
longer than them.
I get that. I
Okay.
get that. I'm just saying this was because when I initially had that comment.
Allow me to elaborate on that comment,
Yeah.
because saying that we did Batman back in the 80s, discredits the fact that y'all did Wonder Woman in the 70s, you did Superman in the 70s and 80s. You're literally cutting
Superman,
off your
seriously?
own fucking history, because Superman, arguably one of the best superhero movies ever made.
And the series may not have ended. I mean, it didn't really reboot with Superman Returns.
No, because I view Superman Returns as Superman 5. The quest for I had a fucking child and I left his ass
Or
to
say
disappear for years.
Superman Deadbeat Dad. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
But again, you're discrediting the Superman series. Okay, fine. You did Batman in the 80s. Cool. You haven't had anything that big until Christopher Nolan came along and fixed this. You had a bunch of movies that treaded off
and
of
it's
the goodwill you had.
it's another property. It's just another Batman.
Yeah,
you are still writing
You're
off.
still
Just
writing
another
You're
Batman,
writing the
yeah.
coattails of Superman and Batman for 30 fucking years making movies. They turned a goddamn tree and a fucking raccoon into big bank goddamn money
into icons.
Yeah.
Into icons, into merchandise icons. And it's like, and the sheer hubris
that
of
we're
just
not going to
being,
do it.
we're not going to do it
Marvel
because you're doing it. And it's like,
and you can do something that is along the lines of having a long-term plan that is not doing it the Marvel way.
And I will say that I think comic book wise, DC has some of the more interesting properties.
I would argue that DC has some of the most interesting villains I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Marvel's issue is that they don't have any
They
really
do
big,
heroes that are anti-heroes. They don't do villains.
Marvel does really good heroes that feel like people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DC does villains that are highly entertaining.
Yeah.
DC does archetypes.
Yes. Batman is only cool
good way to
because of his
put that,
rogues
yeah.
gallery. His rogues gallery is what makes
it's
Batman interesting.
It's religion. It is.
Like, Superman is a god.
Yep.
And the hardest
Bingo.
part about Superman being a god is telling a story where he's threatened. Because you can't.
How do you threaten?
I was actually, it's funny, I was doing an audition this week and they were interviewing me. And one of the things I talked about was why All Might is a more interesting character than Superman for that very reason, is that Superman is a god and it makes him uninteresting.
Yep.
That's arguably, you can make Superman interesting, but you can't play off the normal, his life is in danger. You can't do that story because you've built him as this
And
unstoppable
you know what?
god.
That's why Injustice is my
Right.
favorite Superman storyline ever. And
Right.
it's a fucking video
Unbelievably.
game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just
Unbelievably
complete.
amazing.
If they were to make that a movie, I'd watch it.
I thought that they were with Batman versus Superman.
I honestly
When
thought
they first
that
announced it,
Yeah.
I thought it was
it looked,
Injustice.
it felt
It
like
did.
Injustice.
And then they
but
ruined it.
That's also why they rushed in Doomsday and
Well, no, they rushed in Doomsday
the
because
Dark Side
because
Saga.
Zack Snyder has no fucking idea how to
Fucking
write
No,
a
but I
story.
mean,
Bingo.
My
who
thing,
do you
okay,
put up against them?
Right.
You
Zack
don't.
Snyder
You tell a story
is
about
too preoccupied with homaging to paintings than he is to actually writing a
Zack
movie.
Snyder is too dedicated to jerking off to his own thoughts.
Yes.
To make an interesting fucking
You can.
movie.
It's funny. You can go and do a side by side comparison of almost every shot that Zack Snyder puts in movies and equate it to a famous painting.
Well, that and you can. You
Well,
can,
okay,
you
but
can
I
put
mean,
all of
that's
his shots
people
from
have
all the
sticks
movies
like that.
yeah, but once
their
in a
trademark.
movie, once a movie is great.
a
whole
trademark
movie
is
of
fine.
it is not.
Like this,
No, okay, look, Kubrick.
Tarantino.
One at a time.
Kubrick.
Got it. Tarantino has the trunk shot. Do you want to watch a fucking movie from the entirety from looking out of the goddamn trunk? That's why it's a trademark. You do it once. You throw it into a movie and people go.
I'm not
"Definitely
disagreeing,
Tarantino."
and that's part of why we have a problem with Snyder.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you like you were watching Watchmen,
Again,
right.
You can put
versus
Watchmen
Kubrick.
and Batman v Superman, and you can watch them, and you'll watch some of the exact same camera angles,
Correct.
some of the exact same setups, because he has no fucking idea how to do anything else. He had one good idea,
Or
and
he's
ran
or
with it.
he is so committed to his vision that he's
Not able to see that it's the
scrapping
exact same
what's
vision.
entertaining. Where again, I'll bring Kubrick up one more. Kubrick was anal about his direction.
Yeah.
Okay, and micromanaged details down to how much coffee was in the cup, where the scuff marks were on the tile, all of that. And yet, a 2-bit extra with no acting experience showed up and started barking orders to Marines, and Kubrick gave him full ad-lib license,
Because he could
and
understand.
R. Lee Ermey
was born.
became a legend.
My problem with DC is that DC based their
He
ideas
was willing
off of
to
Zack
step
Snyder.
back.
They based the plan off of
Yeah.
we're gonna let Zack Snyder do this, and Zack Snyder up until that point had no fucking reason
have any
to
chops.
anyone to think that he could run an entire goddamn multi-character universe.
You know what? He still doesn't.
He can't do a multi-character story
that's
in
It is
a
after
movie.
10. We have broken the 10 mark.
We have broken the 10 mark. I know. I need to wrap it up.
Like it's
Yeah, that's why we
Well-
started a comic book movie conversation
Right.
at
Well, no.
9:55.
So just to kind of go through here, just going back to what was in 2008 when Iron Man
Yeah.
came out. Here's some of the other films that came out they had to compete with, right?
Punisher Warzone.
Punisher Warzone. You had The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. You had the Twilight airing series. That's when that started, right? Let's see. You had The Mummy, Tomb Return, Dragon Empire, blah, blah. Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. Also, you had The Incredible Hulk. Other movies that came out were not really. Wanted came out, which was a good movie.
Also a comic book movie though.
Yeah.
But it still carried some of the
Cloverfield.
camp. The
Cloverfield. Wow. Yeah.
Right. Tropical Thunder,
Tropic Thunder.
Quantum,
Yep.
The Solace came out.
Quantum of Solace. Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you look at this, like Wally came out, so there's your,
Wally was pretty good.
Wally was a good movie. Hellboy 2. There's your other comic book one.
Yet again, it's very
And
reminiscent.
it was Perlman.
But I mean, you look. Valkyrie came out, and the 2008 version of Rambo. 7 pounds of Will Smith, like Pineapple Express. There's a lot of movies that came out. Kung Fu Panda's on this list as well. So you look at it, and there's a bunch of comic book series that came out there. The only one that sticks in my head is when you say 2008 is Iron Man. Out of all that came out,
Dark Knight.
Well, no, I mean for me, is Iron Man because that 2008 was iconic for that. Because for me, Iron Man, well, yes, and I hated him in the comic books because he's just a douche, but he was awesome at the same time. I hated all the cartoon versions of him, and then when he came out, and Robert Downey Jr. played this character. I was like, holy shit! I am so intrigued.
But let's be fair, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they picked the perfect actor to play Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need someone to be an alcoholic,
Or did they pick
womanizing asshole.
Or did they pick the perfect
character to give Tony
the perfect
Role.
cover for Tony Stark?
They really did
I mean,
because
'cause
as much as I personally love Robert Downey Jr. as
RDJ's
an actor,
definitely done a lot
he's
to
an
turn himself
asshole.
around. But yeah,
He's like fucked his life over multiple times over and keeps coming back. Like
Yeah.
kudos to him. But to have him play an asshole, arrogant, alcoholic bastard, motherfucker.
then he's
you were
good at
born
it for
this
some
role.
reason.
And he played it so well.
You were born to be Tony Stark.
And the timing.
But what was the thing was the thing that really made it just for me was that Tony Stark in the comics. I agree with you. Like one of my biggest problems. I loved Iron Man as a kid because I thought the suit was cool. I thought that suit was so
Sure.
cool.
the
Everybody
mini
likes
arms
But
of
the
Iron Man.
problem that I had with Iron Man as a kid was the dude in the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, like the thing about Robert Jr. is the fact that he was that person and is no longer. And that you can see that underlying in the first Iron Man is that Robert Downey Jr. is playing an older version of himself, but you can see these little moments of humanity in Tony. And because that's who Robert Downey Jr. is now, it made this.
Because it's definitely not the character of Tony Stark.
Yes.
Because Tony's a dick still in the comic book.
And that's what he needed. That's what Tony needed, is that Tony is unrelatable. There's nothing about Tony. Even like Tony now that they're trying to write him like RDJ is still completely and utterly unrelatable.
They've made him slightly more relatable.
Yeah.
But not enough.
Not enough. Not RDJ enough.
No.
RDJ gave it just that extra dimension.
They gave it humanity.
Yeah. And it made him wonderful.
Yeah. And I love the fact that Marvel did this.
How much credit do we give to the casting agent?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, yeah.
Well, he wasn't originally being considered for the role. He got it by luck. Yeah, it was like actually one of the fun stories I've heard about it.
I mean,
was
Jon
that
Favreau.
Yeah. That was the first time in a long time RDJ had to audition for a
Had to
role.
read for the role,
Yeah,
yeah.
had to read and audition for the role. He wasn't initially going to be. He wasn't considered. He won it, and for good reason. And it ended up. Now there's an entire franchise on the back of that.
Well, there's an entire fucking cinematic universe on the back of that fucking movie.
Yeah, because I'm looking up the
Back of that performance.
So the other actors who almost played Iron Man who auditioned also or was part of the selection process at some point or whatever. As Tom Cruise was going
That
for
would have
it.
been terrible.
Hugh Jackman.
Terrible.
That would have been great.
They were also showing like Emily Blunt was also considered for Black Widow. So
She was actually hired for Black Widow.
right. Elizabeth Deshunka.
Elijah Dushku.
Thank you. Or Channing Tatum was going for Thor. So was we know Tuttle Hiddleston was going for Thor, and then became one of the greatest.
Tom Hiddleston as Thor would have been weird.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth was going for Thor as well.
Well, it stayed in the family.
Jim Carrey was going after Loki.
Good lord.
That would have been
I can see it.
Riddler again.
No.
No, I can see it. The mask
I
is
can
Loki.
see it.
The mask is Loki. Yeah.
Fair.
Will Smith
But
actually.
is he comic book Loki?
Did you notice that the mask does bring out some very dark and twisted?
To be fair, the movie version,
Personality
the movie
traits.
mask is way more comical than the comic book mask.
Yes.
Right.
Comic book mask.
But
is
even in the
just a
movie, they
fuck
touched
stick.
a couple of places where
Like there's a couple parts in the movie where he gets
Yeah.
really dark.
Yeah.
For like a couple minutes, and then he gets out of it. In
Yep.
the comic book,
He
it's
doesn't.
just dark.
Yeah.
But could you think that Jim Carrey could have played that version
oh yeah,
of
Yes.
Loki?
oh yeah,
Jim Carrey, with all the stuff I've seen him do, like over the years, if they'd have had a dark ass version of the mask, that would have been a fucking classic.
I'm talking about Loki. I'm talking about Loki.
Yeah,
Loki.
yeah. I
can
think he
see
could
it.
have done it. It wouldn't be Hiddleston.
No, because as
And
much
the
as
the chemistry between Hiddleston and the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Puny God.
like to be fair, he was supposed to have like a one-off role, but everyone loved him so much that he just
kept getting-
coming back.
Yeah, of course. And that, I mean, that's one of Disney's greatest strengths for me is that once they find something that works,
They stick to it.
It's
Yeah,
the-
they
it's-
rewrite.
It's the ability to
their
morph
plans.
their plan
Yep.
to go with,
They adapt.
The fans picked up on this. We didn't plan for this, but fuck it. We're going to run with it because it's working and we can write it in here and it'll make sense.
yes.
So for Captain America, the actual they say Chris Evans embodies the righteousness of all American superhero. The first choice was actually Will Smith to play Captain America.
I am so glad that didn't happen.
Instead, he went with see.
I don't know. I love
Also,
Hancock.
Joe and
but
Kevin.
Hancock's
not
is a
Cap.
Hancock's not
different hero.
Captain America.
Yeah.
No.
Joe and Kevin Jonas, for some reason, also
Because of the Jonas
auditioned for Captain America's roles. Emily Blunt also
Wow.
went for the
can't see
Peggy
that
Carter
at all.
role. Michael B. Jordan went after Falcon.
That,
Now,
maybe.
that I
could've
coulda saw.
worked. That could have worked.
I don't know. I like Mackie. I like Anthony Mackie as Falcon.
I feel like Anthony Mackie doesn't leave a good impression on me.
I feel like he hasn't been given enough to do anything.
He made the
he's
mistake of
comic relief.
announcing-
I'm not.
He's just barely
Well,
above bit part.
Yeah.
My thing is not it's not the role itself. It's not the fact that
It's just him?
It's just him.
Really?
Like, yeah, have you ever like listened to him give an interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is very. It's. I felt the same sort of disappointment listening to him giving an interview that I did with Neil deGrasse Tyson giving an interview. Like I loved Neil deGrasse Tyson until I heard him give an interview, and I was like, oh no, you're an asshole.
He's pretentious and stuck up.
Yeah.
Well, he like
fair.
steamrolls in all of the interviews that he does. Kind of
So-
like I just
so the
did
guy
just
that-
now.
So the guy
No,
that
I
plays
get you.
Falcon
No,
right now,
he-
what's his
he's
name?
owning the
Mackie.
narrative. for a
Anthony
reason.
Mackie, right? Anthony Mackie let something slip. Comicbook.com actually earlier, I was going to say something that he let something slip on the tweet or a post that got deleted, but it got captured that
Of course it did.
Falcon is dead in Endgame. Dead. Like,
Well-
that's it. There's no more Falcon.
Well-
and which is,
Who is Jose Portillo?
No clue.
what's up?
All right.
I'll say shout out
Yeah,
shout out to his
Jose
YouTube.
Portillo's YouTube channel.
There you go, man. Joaquin Phoenix was auditioning for the Hulk. I remember hearing about that one.
That would have been terrible.
Right.
I can't see that.
Lindsay Lohan was going after Scarlet Witch.
Just
That'd have been even worse.
Maybe.
Aaron Paul went after Star Lord. So did Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Also,
I would
went-
have liked it.
Levitt, I can see.
don't know.
Maybe not a Star Lord.
I'm not gonna lie. That is the greatest comic book disappointment I've had. It still have.
What?
Is I really wish I could have gotten to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt play Robin.
I don't know.
Well, you did.
Or play Nightwing.
He played Robin in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Was he Robin?
That was the reveal at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that was a reveal.
That his middle name was Robin.
Oh,
That's how Nolan tied it together.
Right. Olivia Wilde.
And to be
was-
fair, they fucked it up for you because now you can watch Titans and it's just trash.
Nice.
That
Olivia,
show is fucking trash.
it really is.
Nice.
Olivia Wilde went after Gamora, and Jason Momoa wanted to be Drax the Destroyer.
I can see
I
that.
see that.
He
I
wouldn't
can
have
see
cut
that.
his hair.
He wouldn't have cut his hair.
Nope.
Drax has to be bald. He's always.
I honestly, I could. When I first heard Vin Diesel was in the movie,
You thought he
I
was,
thought
gonna
he
be
was
Drax.
Yeah, but then I saw Batista's name and I'm like,
all right,
okay,
which one
that
of
is
them's
clearly
Drax?
Drax.
Yeah, which one? Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's
right.
clearly Drax because
I'm
Batista's
not gonna lie.
fucking huge.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so skeptical and like eye rolling at the idea of Batista being Drax,
And then you
then
saw
I
it.
saw the movie and I was like, I can no longer imagine anyone else being Drax.
That's the same with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. I'm sorry.
Like, I think the fact, I think the bonus from Marvel.
No, I had way more skepticism about him being Drax than I did Robert. Because
Oh, no,
it's
no.
like,
I knew for a fact that Robert Downey Jr. could play an asshole, alcoholic, fucking womanizing bastard.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark perfectly.
yeah.
So let
me get-
Especially
I was
after
ali-
Kiss Kiss
Because
Bang
I
Bang.
was alive in the 80s.
Yeah.
I
So
remember.
Damn.
just to continue the list here, Joseph Gordon-Levitt also auditioned for the role of Ant-Man.
I kind of see that as Paul Rudd.
Yeah, we do now. Hindsight being 2020. Was that Rashida Jones as the Wasp?
I could have seen it.
I could have seen that too. Matthew McConaughey wanted to be Doctor Strange.
No.
He can want.
That
It's
was
nice
just
to want things.
yeah. All right.
Nope,
Mystic
nope.
magic.
Hey, yo, fucking ass out of here. Nope.
I'm going to the mirror realm.
And I'm walking out the
I
fucking
can totally.
theater.
You know what?
All right,
I would
guys.
like to see Reign of Fire tied into the MCU and McConaughey come back as the Viking tank commander because that was my favorite McConaughey
My
role
brain just
by
seized
far.
the fuck
Just
up.
seize up.
That
All right,
just-
guys,
that's
we were
amazing.
out.
So wait.
Oh, we're not out of time.
Can anyone think of any role that Marvel casted badly?
Any of the Hulks
Out
besides
of,
No,
the
no, no.
MC, out of the MCU,
Well, no,
starting in
MCU,
08.
because Ed Norton wasn't Marvel's choice. Ed Norton
Oh,
was
okay.
Universal's choice.
Yes. Can we indulge
Yeah,
this because I would
we
love
got-
to
we
actually
can do
indulge.
9 minutes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Like-
I would love to indulge this.
Because I can't think of any role that they've casted badly. There's roles they've casted that I was shocked that they casted that, but then I saw it and was like, okay.
Well,
I think they could have done better with Vision, and I really like Paul Bettany.
I like his vision. I can't agree. With
I don't
that.
like Vision in general, but I do like his vision.
I do know who they could have casted better.
But I also like the fact that they
Who?
took it from Tony's AI voice, and Paul Bettany didn't know he was going to be Vision,
yeah.
and he was just doing a voiceover.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's like, hey, we're gonna put you in this giant purple rubber suit.
And I want you to
Welcome to Dot
I
City,
wanna-
bitch.
Right?
I want to preface this with that I think she's done a wonderful job, and I think that she has. I feel like
You gonna go Scarlet Witch on this?
Just come on, spit it
I
out.
think Scarlet Witch was a bad casting. I don't see it, and I think
I think I can't really complain about it. Like,
no, it's
because to be fair, the question is you're casting someone to play what is essentially in Iron Man 2 a super secondary role to a character who is pretty much fucking unknown. Like Black Widow at that point was unknown to the point of blindness that you could have run her across the screen and no one would give him a shit.
Black Widow.
Black Widow at that point when
I'm
Scarlet
talking
Witch,
about Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Not Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, Scarlet Witch? Nah, I didn't care.
Nice.
Like no offense to
Wrong character.
Yeah, that was on me.
Yeah, no,
That
I
was
think
all I
ScarJo's a fantastic
There you
Black
go.
Widow.
Oh no, for Scarlet Witch, like I know she's related to the.
I think the
annoying.
accent was a weird choice.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, sort of, but that's. I think the accent was a weird choice. I think that her performance as Scarlet Witch it feels like by comparison to everyone else's performances.
Well, I think she's also been given the least amount to work with because all of her big scenes are playing off someone else. Like her in Age of Ultron, she played mostly off of her brother,
Right.
But she had that one scene with
And that-
Hawkeye, and Hawkeye had the best goddamn speech, and it motivated her character.
I have a
She
bow
didn't
and
get it.
arrow.
Yeah,
I'm
she,
gonna go back
yeah,
out there.
she didn't do anything in the fucking scene except for sit there and look scared, but she did a good job. He did a good enough job of building her up with that. Like he did more for her character than she did the entire movie.
Because I was gonna say, like, Quicksilver was probably, like, for me the only character, because he was such short lived that I can't say that was a bad character. Because if they had given him some more time, but
Yeah.
But their pissing match with Fox,
Fox and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they,
yeah.
don't worry, we're gonna kill
Little
him.
did we know, 7 years later.
Okay, I'll put another one forward, and mind you, this one might be because of writing. The Mandarin.
I am probably the only person who reads comic books who loved that fucking switch.
I like
I
it.
love-
No, I dug it.
I loved the ever loving fuck.
I thought it was great writing.
I thought it was gonna
That's
be.
about it.
I was gonna be so pissy if you had Ben Kingsley playing the fucking Mandarin, and then I watched it.
Done. I already figured it out. I figured out my actual answer. Sorry.
Hang on,
Hurry up.
But then we get to the point where it flips, and he's a fucking football loving asshole fucking actor. I'm just like,
Yeah, he's an
that's
actor.
amazing.
It's great. No, I loved it.
That was
Okay.
amazing.
Who?
Eccleston is the Dark Elf. Done. That's who my
The
worst
Dark
casting.
Elf.
Yeah,
He was
Thor
the
2.
Dark in Thor 2.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't a bad casting. It's just a bad movie.
I think Eccleston's a terrible actor.
Oh, well, that's fair.
We just won't tell
I
him.
mean, arguably, Doctor Who is good.
He was a
it.
terrible.
Yeah, he's
All right, guys. On that note, we're gonna end the show here. Special thanks.
Doctor
Do
Who.
y'all's shout outs over here. Abe, go ahead and do your shout outs and your goodbyes.
Bye. I miss you.
Jamil,
Bye.
See ya.
go ahead and plug yourself a little bit there.
Hey, thanks for watching. This has been One Up Definitive Studios. I'm Cory Phillips. You can follow me on social media with Cory J Phillips, or not. You don't have to. I'm gonna go cry a lot after this. Oh yeah, and
Thank you,
can just
Nikki.
you can just follow me there and
Where?
or get Funimation now and listen to me then.
Also, check out their troupe they have. It's
My improv troupe, Take One Improv.
there you go.
There, yeah.
TakeOnImprov.com.
Is that
Check them
local?
out.
No, well, yes, actually, yes. It's both Dallas and OKC. So.
All right.
Yeah, he's got 2 every. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Make sure to check out our website, oneupds.com. If you haven't had a chance, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you haven't already, it'll give you notifications. If you'd like to support the show, go to our website, click Support Us. Under there, you will find the ability to donate to the show. If you'd like to donate, even $1 will go towards adding to equipment to make this show even better.
And getting better guests.
And nice.
Or better hosts.
Wow. So from all of us here, me and Jamil only, we say thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.